Before we head to our summer break in the Integrity Octane Series, we've got one more race coming at you, a 300-mile, 200-lap event in the capital of NASCAR endurance, Charlotte Motor Speedway. Great to be back with you for round 15 of the Integrity Octane Series. The ticker up on your screen, and Seth Well leads qualifying at the moment as we have 3 minutes remaining to set a fast lap. I'll be your host for tonight's broadcast, David Krutz. Great to be back with you once again, and we are looking at once more a race at Charlotte. It feels like I've been here time and time again in the past week. Great to be here for one of the biggest events, though, on the calendar for the Integrity Racing League. Halfway point of the season. It's going to be between here and next race in July. So one final chance to make that big leap and perhaps lock yourself in to the championship picture. Bobby Ross going to be in third right now. He finished third at Sonoma. Seth Well, first in qualifying, finished first at Sonoma. So some guys repeating the success already as Jacob Fife gets in the top three, only to be passed by Guillermo Alvarez. Up and down running order here in qualifying. Don Stevenson now takes it up to second, and it's going to be 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to get a time in. We got over 25 drivers here tonight, a bit of an uptick compared to last time we went racing at Sonoma. We only had about 20 drivers there. Tonight, though, Charlotte, a free track on iRacing. Just about everyone who has the platform has access to racing here. So with that being said, we're going to see a few more guys come in looking to contend for the victory. That's going to be Sam Nito in the number 2 machine, up to 11th on the board in his first time lap. The number 2 has been quick all season long, one-time winner so far before the halfway break, so he's in good standing to make it all the way to the playoffs. We'll see if he can go even further when we get to that point in the season. We're still a bit far away from that as he goes down to the inside once again. Sam Nito's final chance. He looks to be good enough for 5th that time by top 5 bound. Sam Nito is going to be done and done with his run. Let's go on to another driver in the field. Boomer Logan in the number 94. Logan's been looking very strong as of recent, closing in slowly but surely on that top 12 bubble. Not within the top 15 range just yet, but with a few solid top 10 finishes. I'll tell you what, I think Boomer Logan might be the next big thing if he can keep rattling down some consistent results. On to his first time lap this time through, as we have 15 times set, going back to Kyle Cooper, 1 second off of the pace. Logan going to be able to make it down the backstretch. More and more drivers appear to be entering. Avila Felix, Ryan Farrell, Tom Wetmore, Stan Carlton, Jim Fife, Boomer Logan, Randy Fish, Brad Patton, Kevin Matz, Kenny Real, Jorge Canales, and Chris Schetzler. They've all not taken times yet as the 94 goes now to the inside line. Boomer Logan gets into the apex, and that will be for the number 94 up to 12th right behind Nicholas Ward. And Ward at the moment is still racing in that 97 Coors machine. You saw him Friday night in the Iora special event, the Thank the Heroes 300. Great to have him aboard for a cross promotion between the leagues, and here he's back again. He has some good practice under his belt from that event, same distance, and now he's 11th in qualifying with Tom Wetmore sitting pleasantly in 15th. The 3-time winner of the season, he'll be good to go to the playoffs and will have a firm advantage in the standings due to all the playoff bonus points that he's collected over the first half of the tour. Ryan Farrell going to be on pit road here. Kenny Real in a special number 28 machine created by B3 Designs as he makes it down the backstretch, and then the front will have his first lap clocked in this time by, what's it going to be for the 28 machine? Nothing that time through, and that will end your qualifying session. Picking it up where he left it off, Seth Well grabs your pole position in the number 88 machine, and we've got now 5 minutes of extra practice, so we'll get your timing results for qualifying on your screen in just a moment. Let's get someone on to look at as they go through. That's going to be Bobby Ross, and as we mentioned, first career podium for the number 44 machine last time we went racing at Sonoma. Hard fought battle between him and the best in the business, and he's been on the up and up since Dirt Bristol. Got his first career top 10 there, then became a threat for a consistent top 10, even a top 5, and now he's a top 3 driver, amassing the last few weeks in succession. He finds himself only 35 points off the bubble for the championship chase. We'll see whether or not he makes it there at the end of the summer, but right now, before we head to the midsummer break, we've got one more qualifying grid. So without further ado, let's get your start starting grid for round 15 here in Charlotte. Going to be led off by the man in that number 88 machine. Seth Well is going to find himself up there. Noel going to be there with a 30.192 over Don Stevenson in position number 2. 30.215 for the number 47 black and white front row. Let's go to third, though. Going to be Alan Dobbs in the ever-colorful 05. He's going to have a 30.237 to line up right beside Guillermo Alvarez with a 30.295. Sam Nito going to be position number 5 with a 30.314. It's going to be Caitlin Haight with a 30.322. Outside row number 3 going to be Nick Tarbuck in the fourth row, position 7. He's only going to be a thousandth off of Caitlin Haight there with a 323 decimals. Followed then by Cody Smith with a 30.328. Jacob Fife going to be position number 9 to number 36 machine. 30.332 for him as Bobby Ross rounds out your top 10 with a 30.346. Let's go from there. Going to be 11th and Nicholas Ward with a 30.384. And Boomer Logan in the 94 machine right beside him with a 30.634. And Machanas going to be there in position number 13. 30.712. To be inside row number 7 is outside. It's going to be Alan Rawo, 30.767. Tom Wetmore, position number 15 in qualifying row number 8 here in that 51 with John Steele right behind him. Now going to be 16th beside him outside row 8 with a 30.849. Position number 19, the 73 Swedish Fish Machine. The final man to put together a time lap will be Kyle Cooper with a 31.118. He'll be scored in the 17th spot in row number 9. Right beside him going to be Stan Carlson, the first man in on iRacing. Position number 19 going to be Chris Schetzler there in the number 24 machine. And outside row 10 to round out your top 20, Ryan Farrell in the 93. From there on out, going to be Brad Patton in the 21st spot and Kevin Matz in 22nd. Jorge Canal is going to be in 23rd as Kenny Rios in 24th spot. And then to put himself in the top 25, going to be Victor Avila Felix in that number 27. Right beside him, outside row number 13, going to be Randy Fish in the 19. And to round out the field running shotgun, it's going to be the number 63 machine back for his final start before the break. Jim Fife scored in 27th position, and that will be your starting grid for tonight's event, round 15 from Charlotte in the Integrity Octane Series. Bobby Ross minding his own business right now as we keep a close eye on him. He's currently scored in position, well, let's see. I don't have that up quite just yet. The 44 machine, though, putting together some good laps. I'm sure he is inside the top 10. As it stands, we've only got less than 2 minutes remaining here in your warm-up charts. I got a bit early on myself there, putting up the warm-up timing and scoring leaderboard, as we're going to get that up on your screen right about now. Bobby Ross for Indy Autosport continuing to take laps here, and as it stands, the driver in that number 44 is scored as the 4th best man in this affair, at least for now. 1 minute and now just about no extra seconds remaining. No second to spare, just a few laps to spare as Ross makes it down to the inside line once again. Sam Nito leads the way here in a warm-up, and any final adjustments that the driver can make will be made here for a long haul, 300 miles and 200 laps. It's going to be a very intense one, but for some drivers here, they've gone the distance already in this league. Last week, Monday night in the Integrity Ignite Series, chance to redesign Shop 300, same distance, different stakes, different championship battle. DJ Stagner came home the champion there, but it was a hard-fought battle between every driver, and it all came down to attrition because there was only one caution flag. Over 180 consecutive laps ran under green, and that was an interruption till the checkered flag. Very early yellow, lap number 20 or so, and then we went all the way. So it wouldn't be put past the great drivers in this league to go all the way once again. I'm sure these drivers would love to go uninterrupted under a green flag run at Charlotte, as we now have ourselves a warm-up in conclusion. It's going to be Sam Nito, the fastest on the board in second practice, with Brad Patton in second and Nick Arbuck in third. And this is it. The sun is setting here in Charlotte. The drivers have disappeared from your screen, and now it's time to get to the race here in Concord, North Carolina. Kenny Reel back after a bit of an absence. Great to have him back aboard. Always love to see that number 28. And as we mentioned, a special paint scheme for him tonight. Let's get a focus on that the moment he spawns into the track. He's not there just yet, but I'd love to take an eye or two. Let's get both my eyes on it and take a look at that number 28 for tonight's event. Painted, I believe, by Brian Russo on B3 Designs. That's a special American tribute in honor of Memorial Day. The skyline of New York City on the hood there, the American flag side by side on both the left and the right side, and I believe there's a special message on the back as well. And if we take a look at that back, it is our flag does not fly because the wind that moves it, it flies with the last breath of each soldier who died protecting it. That is Kenny Reel's message to the audience tonight in commemoration of Memorial Day, and of course, a great paint scheme to go along with it for PBR and Brian Russo. B3 Designs, great to have them aboard as always. And look at the stack of cars we've got here, led by Seth Noel in the number 88. The iRacing official pace car gets them moving, and now it's going to be Seth Noel who gets on a roll as well. It's going to be Don Stevenson right beside him, and Stevenson and Noel have gone back and forth for their share of wins this season, their fair share indeed. These two have been very competitive. They combine at the moment for a total of only 2 wins, however, Seth Noel having both of which. Don Stevenson currently finds himself the second highest driver in the standings without a victory. The top honor so far goes to Ross Cato in that number 12. More on Ross Cato tonight. Boomer Logan did a feature with him on the 10 Questions with Boomer Logan blog. Always love to read that. And right now, we'll get on the way. Harpoon's Designs made it. As a matter of fact, got my designers mixed up. Saw the back end bumper sticker. I thought that was the whole situation. Harpoon Designs, nonetheless, great to have y'all aboard. Beautiful paint scheme there. Got to credit them as well for the phenomenal paint scheme to bring the message forward as we celebrate Memorial Day's extended weekend here. I was off till Monday, and then we got back rolling today, so great to be back aboard here on FTN. Seth Noel leads the way in the final Memorial Weekend thriller, Charlotte Motor Speedway, 300 miles. I've seen it 3 times before in the past 7 days, and I'm not tired of it at all. We've seen some fantastic racing, and tonight Seth Noel wants to treat us to a show of his own. The Seth Noel and Don Stevenson front row greets us once again with the start-finish line. And let's get it going one more time here in Charlotte. It's going to be round 15 getting underway. The green flag flies for the 15th round here in Concord. And off the corner this time by Seth Noel leads lap number 1, and we are on our way here in Charlotte. Going to be the top 3 guys beginning to get a bit of a breakaway here. Rest of the field continues to try to catch them. It's going to be some big time maneuvers here in the midfield. As a matter of fact, it's going to be Nick Tarbuck going right up high, and right with him going to be the Nick Tarbuck machine in tow. Position number 6 is Tarbuck. Caitlin Haight going to be scored now in 7th. One driver goes up high. That will be Cody Smith, and Smith makes his way right up top. Jacob Fife going to be there in 9th. Now the battle for the top 10 begins with Bobby Ross and Tom Wetmore. Wetmore climbing big already as Tom finds himself now in 12th from 15th. The high scored already up to about the 10th spot very early in the going, but falls back a bit, lets Bobby Ross go. Now has Nicholas Ward down to the inside line, and we are just getting started, so not much can be told about the later race picture from this very beginning. A lot's going to change, and that's for certain, as Don Stevenson's already made a change up front. Your leader is that number 47. Stevenson going to be able to lead there from Seth Noel in 2nd, Guillermo Alvarez in 3rd, and then Sam Nito in 4th. Position number 5 going to be Alan Dobbs, and then Nick Tarbuck going to be in 6th as they work their way down the back once again. The mid-pack is now the closest in the field. Down low, it's going to be Cody Smith going for it one more time as Tom Wetmore tries to hold this line and perhaps get in the equation as well. That time through, though, Tom can't do all too much. He'll go up high, try to get a move going on the Cody Smith machine, but at the moment, simply can't do anything. Goes up high, he'll try to stick it in regardless, but the 18, less distance to travel, will have the advantage all throughout. The 18 of Cody Smith holds it forward as Don Stevenson leads the way now by 6/10 of a second. Looking good so far for Don Stevenson. Seth Noel going to be in 2nd right now. Then Guillermo Alvarez is going to be in 3rd with Sam Nito there in 4th. Top 4 guys beginning to form a bit of a breakaway out in front. As you can see, Stevenson has himself a joyride right now. Looking on board clear track all ahead. He's looking nice and smooth so far. The number 47 has nothing to worry about. He'll just have to keep hitting his marks. However, we'll see whether or not this will come back to bite him. Might be wearing out his equipment just a bit too early. You don't want to see that out of any driver, let alone your leader, but it will give a shot to a guy like Sethwell there in second. He finds himself now 1.2 seconds away from the goal, and 6 laps in. Still a long time to chase it right back. Tire strategy might become the big ploy if we keep it green. Nobody wants to be the first cause of a wreck in a race as long as this. Don't extend the ordeal, just keep going. That might be the mentality for some of these drivers. So many races in to this championship hunt tonight is not going to mean all too much unless someone new gets the victory. At the moment, we've seen quite a few winners. As a matter of fact, we have seen 8 and we have 12 spots to give here in this playoff battle. So if it does go the way of a new driver, it's going to be very dicey until the playoff begins. Right now, though, Don Stevenson, he wants to put himself in, and he wants to put himself in fast. He's been gaining even more time. He's now almost 2 seconds ahead of Sethwell and the field. And for Nexus Esports, that number 88 machine holds on strong in second, not wearing out his stuff, but losing about 2/10 each and every lap. Not quite sure, though, what the game plan is for Don Stevenson. Is he really very sure of his pacer? Is he just burning himself out looking for a yellow flag? All these questions already beginning to pop in the minds of these drivers and their, of course, machinery that they work with. Guillermo Alvarez right now hanging tough there in third. He does not want to be involved in an incident, that is for certain. As that number 83 machine goes down into it once again, he's keeping himself in tow with some of the best in the business. Got skill well. He seems to have brought it to the table the past few weeks. Got his first podium. I believe it came there at Kansas, and he has been on a roll since. Very close to a podium last week at Sonoma. Got caught up with a few extra drivers in the mix for the third spot, and a lap machine as well. Was not able to hang tough for that spot. However, he now found himself back there looking to battle once again for that top 3, and we'll see if he can keep it there. 10 laps through 10 laps without incident. Sethwell going to be there in second. Tom Wetmore is in third, and Guillermo Alvarez holds tough in fourth. Sam Nito going to be in fifth right now. Bobby Ross is in sixth, and Nick Tarbuck's in seventh, as Alan Dobbs is going to keep himself in the 8th spot, and Cody Smith is in a 9th. Nicholas Ward now going to be in the top 10 as Cody Smith goes up high. Now this top 10 battle, it's only just begun, so it's far from a certainty, but the 97 machine of Nicholas Ward, as we mentioned, ran into the Thank the Heroes 300, a 300-mile special event courtesy of the Iora League, which we always broadcast on FTN. A $75 main prize went home to your winner. Aiden Walker eventually got that one done, but tonight, Nicholas Ward using the lessons that he learned from that event to perhaps carry himself to yet another successful finish. As the number 97 works his way through once again, the Coors 97 takes a nice and cool line in and out. Don't want to push yourself oh so early, and Jacob Fife knows a thing or two about pushing to the end. He's got one win this season in the Integrity Racing League, came at Kansas in the Octane Series, so he's been able to get something done with these next gens. Finds himself in 11th, looking toward the long haul. 13 laps in, every driver seems to be hanging tough, logging laps, and getting it back in order. Now 16 cautions we saw in this world, of course the real world's Coke 600 in the NASCAR Cup Series. That would be the equivalent of about 8 cautions in this event, or we could go up to about 32 if we were to go double. It's a bit of a different mathematical calculation there. I don't think we're going to hit 16 cautions. I don't think we're going to even hit 8. This league has been clean as ever, even on the long runs in races. We've seen races go over 250 miles, and they've always ended I would say tempers, but they have ended with excitement. One thing, though, Don Stevenson tries to keep it far from exciting out in front. He has a 3-second advantage over Sethwell right now in second. He's looking real good in that number 47 machine. I tell you what, Sethwell way back, but he's in second, and look who's in third. Tom Wetmore fought his way up there and trying to be Tom terrific tonight. He's gone from 15th up to third. He'll have to make 2 spots up to get that lead, but a valiant effort so far for the number 51. on. And Tom Wetmore, he's already got 3 wins on this season. He leads the league in overall wins. 3 individual victories in this league so far, and that's out of 15 races. He's won just about 20% of the races we've had to offer so far, and at the time we head to round number 9, he had about a third of the wins locked up. He has not shown up to every race since, but why would he? Well, in all honesty, if I was in his position, I don't think I would. He's got the pace, that's for certain, got the skill, but there could be other obligations, and when you're locked into the playoffs like that, you don't have to sweat it at all. He finds himself in third right now, trying to run up to Seth Well, and Well keeps himself 3 seconds adrift from your leader. That time by Don Stevenson still was quicker. However, it's beginning to plateau. That was a 30.796 for Donnie, and for the number 88 machine, Seth Well brings it home with a 30.708. So that's going to be a bit quicker for the number 88 machine that time by. And now the tides are turning. Seth Well might be the fastest man in this leading battle, beginning to break away from Tom Wetmore and slowly but surely beginning to close the gap on Stevenson. And how about this for Don Stevenson, almost 20 laps in? And I'd honestly have expected him to balloon and fall out of the leading order so far. At least it would be a close battle, I think, by this point. But so far, he still hangs tough with a 3-second advantage overall. That time, Bondo, once again, Seth Noel cuts a second into the advantage. So that is still a bit of a worrying factor for the 47. However, has a big gap in the case of a freak yellow, which we may just get. He would still be able to come in, get some new Goodyear rubber on it, and go back again like nothing happened. Well finds himself in second over the remainder of the field. Tom Wetmore finds himself in a bit of a deep battle here with the number 2 of Sam Nito. Take a look on back. Sam Nito going to be right there down to the inside line, cuts it close once again, and as they go through turns 1 and 2, that number 2 machine backs up the run on entry. Going to get a bit of a better run off exit. That is indeed the game plan as they work their way off once more. Backstretch of battling. Sam Nito goes a bit further down low, sort of signals he wants to make a move, but nothing more that he can do right now. They're all single file on back to Caitlin Haight right now and Jacob Fife. Caitlin Haight, who got it done not only at Auto Club, but is a 2-time winner after that point onward. Now finds herself battling just outside the top 10. Caitlin Haight, one of the most successful drivers this season, tied with Seth Well right now for the second most wins in this season. Of course, Tom Wetmore has that 3-win mark everyone's trying to chase down, but Caitlin Haight has been able to sneak away with a few victories by a wide margin. Now, Auto Club, I tell you what, it was a battle, and right now, if she's going to win another, she'll have to fight through this field, but the number 11, always a different paint scheme. You never know what you're going to get. This number 11 continues to run well. Tonight going to be the Aston Martin Aramco Cognizant machine, and Aston Martin, they've had a phenomenal run so far in Formula 1. Came home second with Fernando Alonso in the Formula 1 Monaco Grand Prix last Sunday, even though it was a bit of a rainy event, and Fernando might have not made the best strategy call. It's up to Caitlin Haight here with the all non-rain weather on iRacing to make the right calls for herself. That's one thing iRacing doesn't have, but we've got quite a lot more. And I tell you what, that's what makes the sim so enjoyable. Strategies are beginning to converge as Don Stevenson now only holds a 2-second lead. Look who's right there in touching distance. Seth Well now beginning to pull away from the rest of the pack, and even a lap machine of Jorge Canales finds himself only 1.8 seconds away from your leader. 22 laps in, still so much time until everything comes to pass, but that number 88 does not want to hesitate. He'll make his way through time and time once more. He is not worried at all about how the car's driving, and when Seth Well finds himself in the groove, it is going to take a Herculean effort to bring him out of it. He's been a phenomenal driver all season long, one of the best in the business, has found himself in some battles that have taken away a few wins. As a matter of fact, got a penalty at Iowa after taking the checkered flag, but all throughout, he's been able to hold himself in good spirits and drive to the fullest of his potential night after night. For Nexus Esports goes down low once again, and to the apron, he gains 0.3 of a second on your leading man. The rest of the field going to fall back big right now. You can see Sam Nito there in third, Guillermo Alvarez is in fourth, and Tom Wetmore is in fifth. Nicholas Ward going to be position number 6. It's going to be a bit of a shake-up, though, as they go deep sea diving. Tom Wetmore goes a bit lower, and now Ward finds himself going on the backstretch in a treacherous position. Now we talk about Nicholas Ward in the backstretch. If you were watching on Friday night, Nicholas Ward found himself on the short end of the stick quite a few times in many incidents. The first of which came on the backstretch where Gavin Austin made contact with that number 97, sent him up into the wall and back again. That's what set his race off course very early on, and from there on out, it simply did not play in the favor of the 97. However, it's looking very good right now. He's in 5th at the moment. Guillermo Alvarez running steady in 4th. Sam Nito right now in 3rd, and Seth Dwell in 2nd. Now, we know those two are getting closer to the top 2 guys, but the rest of the field, it's still battling fiercely. Bobby Ross right now finds himself in the thick of a battle between himself and Caitlin Haid. Haid goes down low once again, and she's got the run. She's even got Tom Wetmore there now, and Wetmore, who made such a great charge, now finds himself slipping a bit further back. Gets the run of Caitlin that time by. She will be cleared, but it does begin to show a sign that number 51 might not be invincible as the night goes on. 26 through though, and he's still looking good to keep in the top 10. However, simply is not the podium pace that he had a bit earlier. Brad Patton battles with the 18 machine of Cody Smith that time through, and all seems to be well on their front right now as the number 18 goes up high. Brad Patton left with the low side. The number 18 gets that run, and for your Daytona winner, he's been smooth sailing ever since. Does not want to get involved with an incident, just keeping himself in the races has been his game plan. Winning Daytona makes a championship run much easier. And if we're going to talk about an in-integrity example, how about the Monday Night Ignite Series? Rob Ackley won Daytona and coasted his way into the round of 16. What did he do from there? Become the best driver in the round of 16, winning the beginning of that entire playoff schedule, getting the first win in the Clash, and finding himself as the top seed going to the final 2 races. Now, it proved to be all for naught. He got wrecked on the first lap at Pocono. That all but ended his playoff chances. But either way, if you get a good first impression at Daytona, get that win, you can begin to plan for the most important races of the season and not waste your time, or it wouldn't really be wasting your time, but not find your effort divided and your attention divided between so many tracks with all these fierce competitors. Speaking of fierce competition, Don Stevenson has been passed and he's already got a major gap behind. Seth Well leads the way by 7/10 of a second, and he's found himself working a clinic after he caught up to Stevenson, already about a second ahead of your number 47, and the rest of the field is catching up. Look who's there in 3rd, Sam Nito, and look who's in 4th, Nicholas Ward. These drivers are catching the number 47 and catching him fast. Don's going to be in a bit of trouble right now. We'll see whether or not he can hold tough. He has been able to put some good runs in before in the heat of the moment, but the pressure is mounting, and he's going to have a long month to reset after this one. You don't want to make any regrettable mistakes in your final opportunity before the summer stretch. 30 laps in, and Seth Well leads the way quite convincingly so far. He has been phenomenal. Don Stevenson is going to be there in 2nd. Sam Nito is in 3rd, and Nicholas Ward now going to see Guillermo Alvarez go down low. That's going to be for position number 4. Now Alvarez finds himself just outside the podium once again, just inside the top 5 where he wants to be, as now it looks like a multi-car pack going back to Caitlin Haid in 9th, Tom Wetmore there in 8th, Nick Tarbuck in 7th, and Alan Dobbs in 6th. Position number 5 is Nicholas Ward. He is now holding steady as the number 83 got by in a nice move, a decisive move, and that's the racing you'll love to see as one man goes down and Stevenson begins to charge down a pit road for competitive pit stops. Now, we label them as competitive for a reason. If the driver is on the lead lap within a lap, of course, of your leading driver without any damage, going in for simply strategic reasons, that's what we call in FTN a competitive pit stop. Stevenson leads us down and in 1st, and the 88 now going to put him 1 down. Only 31 laps into this stint. That's going to be a long haul for the number 47. The way things are going, that would be about a 5-6 stop race the way that strategy would play out. I'm certain this is simply because he burned himself out just a bit too much on that initial run. What I'm hoping to see out of these drivers, and I'm not quite sure if we'll get it, is about a 45-50 lap run until the first cycle gets really on its way to the masses, of course, so to speak. Don Stevenson makes his way through 1st, and now Stevenson back on his way down the backstretch, makes it through as he's got a big pack chasing him at the front. It's going to be Kevin Matz right now in 11th with Cody Smith in 10th, Brad Patton in 9th, and Ryan Farrell in 12. Quite the group of drivers here, and all pretty good ones to add to that. Brad Patton right now finds himself on the bubble for the playoffs. He is only about 35 points ahead of Ryan Farrell, and only 39 ahead of Bobby Ross, and even only 43 ahead of Kevin Matz. Kevin Matz is a double racer in the Integrity Racing League, does the Monday and Tuesday double when applicable, and while the Ignite Series is off till August, he's honing in his skills, racing with the best of the best, and he has been making noticeable improvements with this next gen all season long. Never a qualifier, always a racer. That's what we can tell about this number 50 machine, and he puts on some great races to back it up. We've seen him countless times qualify outside the top 20 and make his way inside the top 10 now. Very little room to qualify outside that top 20 tonight. Only about 27 drivers in, so he isn't falling way too far off the pace. It's the number 50 bringing both up in his qualifying game and his race game. Now battles for 12th with Ryan Farrell. It's going to be Ryan Farrell actually moving to 11th as Kevin Matz falls to 12th. And now Jacob Fife begins to lurk in the shadows, trying to make his way through as Don Stevenson, one lap down, has found himself on hot lap pace. Boomer Logan appears to have disconnected that time by unexpected disconnection for the number 94. He is not coming back to our timing and scoring charts. That looks to be an individual error, so Boomer Logan will fall to the bottom of your charts, and if you don't know why, well, now you do. Logan fading and fading fast. Something's wrong now. Boomer did mention to us, I believe it was him, I'm going to go check back to the chat logs here. There was a bit of a shift when it came to his setup, made a few changes just before the night got underway, and he got himself a Next Level Racing chassis. Of course, Next Level Racing, the best in the business, but his computer might have been the one to give out in that moment. So bad news for the number 94 of Boomer Logan, as he now finds himself dead last as Guillermo Alvarez goes in for a competitive pit stop of his own. Alvarez makes it through, and now he'll be the second man in 37 laps through, and just like that, we're beginning to see the mass exodus to pit road. Alvarez takes him deep, 37 laps in, only the second driver to make a stop as Sam Nito now leads the second place battle. Seth Well overall has it done by 1.5 seconds. And Seth Well holding on strong. He has been an ace in this next gen wherever he goes on iRacing. You might know him in the FTF Light Series if you race there. It's not broadcasted, however. We do have some free time on FTM. We might do some test streams with that league, of course, if they do allow us. Seth Well, we could pick up some more coverage for him there. He is just a star in that league. Leads the point standings there for Nexus Esports. He has been on a tear there and a tear here. Everywhere he goes, he seems to bring together that winning spirit as Seth Well blinks out just a bit that time through. Sam Nito still chases him, and that number 2 machine knows Seth Well sometimes prone to the blink, but it does not stop his pace. Not one bit. Sam Nito holds on steady there in the second spot. Alan Dobbs is in third, with Nick Tarbuck right now in fourth, and Tarbuck makes his way just within the top 5 and now chasing down a podium spot. Nick Tarbuck in the throwback to Kevin Harvick in that number 4 Forever machine. A beautiful paint scheme as always, and as we've seen him for the first time only in the 4 this week, he runs the 29 in the Ignite Series, but here it's all about the modern era for Kevin Harvick, and Harvick's been quite successful there as he comes down to pit road. No incident this time through. Wetmore dives deep and gonna make it in front of Nicholas Ward. Big time strategy in the play as a multi-car pack comes in for the first time. 40 laps in, Tom Wetmore down low, tries to make it happen, gets one, does not pick off for the double, and now the 51 makes it into pit stall number 15. Kenny Reel in as well. He'll make it right down below into pit stall number 24 as Tom Wetmore's in, Nicholas Ward is in, Cody Smith is in as well, and Alan Rowell makes it through, and it looks like along with him going to be the driver in that number 15, Majanas in, as Tom Wetmore goes out side by side. 3 wide off pit exit. Who was going to get it? Wetmore does, and he gets it barely. 3 wide photo finish off of pit road, and the 51 of Wetmore gets over Tarbuck and Nicholas Ward. Sam Nito leads the way by 3 seconds, but 42 laps in, he is bound to come down pit road any time soon. We'll find out if it's going to be this time. That it is. Sam Nito down and in. Alan Dobbs takes the lead. He will not come in with them. And now different strategies up in front. Diverging paths as the 05 finds himself out in the first spot. It's going to be Caitlin Hayden second. Brad Patton going to be there in third. And Bad Brad leads Jacob Fife right now for the 4th position as Brad Patton finds himself within the podium. Kevin Matz now going to be in the top 5 with Stan Carlson in 6th and Chris Schessler in 7th. This experiment coming to an end, though. Running it long might not be the way to go. 43 laps in, and this has been a green flag cycle without incident. Ryan Farrell comes through once again, and he's going to be back on his way in the 93. Good to go for him. Sam Nito now going to be on the move off exit as Jacob Fife is in on entry, and the 36 by his lonesome as Alan Dobbs leads them through now to begin our final run in the first stage. We do have a stage break. Lap number 80 will be the first caution that is scheduled. Hopefully we don't have a caution for cause despite or after that. We might be able to go all the way green regardless. Alan Dobbs down low this time through the 05 machine, carries the momentum in as Caitlin Haight now leads the way in the Aston Martin machine. Brad Patton going to be now position number 2. Kevin Matz there in 3rd. And as they begin to get spaced out just a bit more, spacing is going to become a big thing before this stage. Some drivers going to go all the way for the stage victory. Some others going to be a bit more conservative, going for that overall victory. Many different strategies. The first caution for cause comes out that time by, and it looks to be for Jacob Fife off pit road. Fife gonna spin, and now we have our first yellow flag for a reason. Let's find out what happened to Jacob Fife. He was spinning by this point, and you can see trying to get it out of the way with a donut. Jacob Fife spins under the yellow. And let's take a look back and find out. Now, this was Fife coming out of pit road and 46 laps through. He was on pit road, getting his servers, looked to be fine, and then got on his way. The 36 machine, we've seen this happen before off of pit road. Yellow flag is out for the first time, and 46 laps in. Oh, he catches a bump, goes to the grass, and then comes back out again. Safety yellow, yellow number 1 for the number 36 of Jacob Fife. Good to see not a lot of damage there, but not good to see any damage at all, of course. 46 laps in, he'll have a shot to fix it, but certainly not what he wanted as the 36 gets back on the going. Caitlin Haight leads the way as they now seem to come down in part to pit road. Now going to be Caitlin Haight going down on her own. Looks like bringing Brad Patton, Kevin Matz, Stan Carnathan, Chris Schetzler, and Jorge Canales. And just like that, pit road is active. That's going to be your first caution of at least 2 on the night. Stage break yellow going to be at lap number 80. And now it looks like many more pulling themselves up to the front. Sethwell trying to get right back to your pace car, and it looks like he's pretty far out. Alan Dobbs in the 05 right there with it as Sethwell gets back on the way, scored in the 7th position. Alan Dobbs holds on up in front in 8th for those on the older set who switched to new before the pit stop. Caitlin Haight going to be the winner off pit road that time by over Brad Patton, then Kevin Matz, Stan Carnathan, and Chris Schetzler all through without a hitch, and we are back on our way with the numbered 11 leading this way right behind those who will be given their lap back. Caitlin Haight gets it all, basically a free pit stop and the lead. Has herself a night so far as 47 in. Guillermo Alvarez, Alan Dobbs, Don Stevenson, Matt Jonas. These guys will have to eventually make their way around the pace car to get back with the field. 47 laps in, almost a quarter of the way through this one. It was caution free. Jacob Fife involved with the first yellow flag of the night. And there we have it. Alan Dobbs makes his way down to the inside on the front stretch once again, and just like that, pit strategy has been leveled, at least a bit more than if it was any other circumstance. And for the driver in that number 05 machine, Alan Dobbs, while he will be sent further off to the back, is still in a good spot. He'll be starting in 8th on this restart, and while he will not have that up front track position, at least for the front row, he still has an opportunity to make it a bit further above his contemporaries as he's only on a 2-lap stint. Guillermo Alvarez right now in a 9-lap-old stint. Don Stevenson has been there for 15 laps. Sam Nito, a comparable number with 4 on his set of good years. But with that being said, a few drivers already falling down to the wayside here. Some drivers getting the better of the pit stop like Caitlin Haight and perhaps Alan Dobbs. The rest might be in trouble. Dobbs makes his way through 48 laps in. He'll be given the signal to go past the pace car next time by, and we'll get on our way at the very latest at lap number 50. 200 laps of full-on racing. Sam Nito blinks in and out just a bit, but the 05 machine has not budged. Up in front for Nightfall Graphics. He's not looking to take the fall here, as he will be the man who leads them through to get the laps back. All but 7 drivers are on the strategy that Alan Dobbs is on, going back to Seth Well, a brand new stint with Jorge Canales in 6th, Chris Schetzler in 5th, Stan Carlton in 4th, Kevin Matz in 3rd, Brad Patton in 2nd, and then, of course, Caitlin in 1st. Now, this is big for guys like Schetzler, Canales, and, of course, Stan Carlton. Seth Well, of course, going to be a big beneficiary, and we know his pace. He should be able to claw through them, at least in part, before the stage break comes into effect. However, for the guys who run further in the mid-pack, a bit deeper than the other drivers, this could be a big opportunity to level the playing field and perhaps be a bit faster for a change, at least until lap 80. Caitlin Haight out in front as Alan Dobbs leads them around, this time by to get a lap back. It's going to be the 05 with the 83, and then the rest of the field are chasing behind. 1 lap to green, effective this time by, and the pace car's lights are off. That's the signal. Lap number 50, we will go green, and if we don't this time by, it will be at the conclusion of lap 50, heading into lap number 51. All said and done, very few drivers come out on top of that last strategic maneuver. However, those that do benefit big. Only 1 retiree due to, I believe, a hardware malfunction in Boomer Logan in the number 94 machine. Rest of your field within 1 lap of the leader. And so we go once again. The driver, the number 11 machine, leads the way out in front. It's Caitlin Haight, Brad Patton, and then Kevin Matz there in 3rd as we head back to the green flag for the first restart of the night. 50 laps in. Now, we're bound to get at least 1 more. However, let's see how many laps we can go until our next caution for cause. We went about 45 laps through last time by. Can we do one better this time through? That remains to be seen as they come across. 1 extra lap is added, and we will wait 1 more time as every driver gets grouped back up with the field, last of which appears to be John Steele and looks like Kenny Reel there with them. They're all bunched up once again. However, to be safe, 1 lap to green is back in effect just to make sure no driver is lost in the process. Most of the field, in fact, had to go to get their lap back. Will be unfair to let them go without, of course, equaling the playing field on this pace lap. Double file led by your number 11. Rest of the field down to the inside line as Caitlin Haight ready to lead them through. Only about 3 rows of the outside line are in formation right now. As we go down the back once again, it looks like the number can be brought up not by 1. It's only 3 drivers on the outside line. Rest of your field starts down low. A bit of a twisted picture here in Charlotte, and for the first time, so many drivers caught out on strategy. Now, they're all in a much different position. Boomer Logan back on the track, by the way, 13 laps down. He's back on his way. The 94 down on pit road, and he's now back with the pack. That might be the reason actually we got back going here, as the number 94 had a bit of a troublesome start to this race. 13 laps down. See if he gets the opportunity to make a few of those laps back up. Going to be a hard-fought night regardless, as the long haul is still ahead of us. Let's get back to the green flag this time through. Going to be Caitlin Haight up in front, then Brad Patton as they go to the first restart of tonight. Let's get to it this time through. Going to be Caitlin Haight down low, Brad Patton up high, and the green flag will wave for the first restart of the night here in Charlotte. And a great start there for Caitlin Haight in the number 11 machine. Brad Patton going to be in 2nd. Rest of the field still charging by as Stan Carlton does battle with Chris Schetzler for 4th. Great job here for Stan Carlton to work out the strategy. He's had multiple top 10 finishes this season, but never has found himself up here deep into a race like this. 51 laps in, battling for a top 5 spot. This strategy has certainly made this playing field quite different. Maybe not leveling it for these guys. A bit of an advantage, as a matter of fact. Coming down to pit road early might have been the correct decision for them. Guillermo Alvarez holding on tough in the 8th spot. He's on a 14 lap old set. He came down way early and got that yellow flag, and it was a bit of a freak incident there, but all is well for the number 83. As it stands, all is well for Jacob Fife to keep on driving, finds himself in 21st, so despite that front end damage, good to keep on competing. Love to see that for the number 36. Never give up here in the Integrity Racing League. He's got himself that car back on the way, chasing down now the 22 machine, and as that number 22 just in front of Jacob Fife keeps on chugging, nothing more for the number 11 to do but keep pushing to hit those marks. She's got herself a good spot, 0.2 of a second in front of the leader, and of course it's going to be Caitlin Haight, the leader in front of Brad Patton. Kevin Matt's going to be in third, Chris Schetzler there in fourth, and now a bit of a breakaway, and you would see about a 0.2 of a second gap going back to Alan Dobbs, and this is what a difference in tire makes for these drivers. Even though that Alan Dobbs machine has a bit of a younger set than Guillermo Alvarez, he simply does not have the warmth in it, at least for a driver like Brad Patton, and now they're going to be side by side for the lead. Brad Patton takes it, at least for a driver like that number 1 machine. Got a bit of warmth in before it all came to the end for that caution break before the racing got back on its way. The drivers behind do not have that warmth built up. Now, of course, in racing, you don't want to heat up the tires too much and lose all that grip, but there is an adequate level that you want to maintain, and for that number 05, holding on very well, simply trying to build up that heat, and the heat will be on as soon as he finds himself in the perfect position to contend with his Goodyear rubber. Up high, Stan Carlton goes. Going to be Guillermo Alvarez going for the low blow, and he'll be able to take it if he gets a bit of momentum. He won't need momentum. Carlton to the wall that time by. Stan Carlton finds himself in the wall that time through, and now Stan's going to be a bit further off the pace. A bit of a knock to the wall, gets back going, getting knocked down, getting himself back up again. That's the way to do it. And 56 laps in, a long ways to go as Brad Patton finds himself leader of the pack. Caitlin Haight going to be down low in the number 11 machine. It's going to be Kevin Matz there in third. Seth Well, position number 4. And Chris Schetzler in fifth. Double file. They're not going to be right now. All about the single file train on the bottom. Up top, they go to the exit of that first mini turn of the front stretch. Down low they go again. It has been uniform up in front. Very few drivers trying to battle for a spot right now. One man who is Tom Wetmore. Wetmore makes it off the backstretch that time by with the number 05 machine. And as Tom gets that spot, Alan Dobbs goes down low once again to try to take it right back, though. It's going to be the number 51 who gets himself in the perfect spot to keep on going. Great move for the number 51. Alan Dobbs right there in the 9th position. Sam Nito going to be in 10th, and Nick Tarbuck going to be in 11th there as the Tarbuck machine blinks out for just a moment. My oh my, a big blink for him, but he keeps on going. Good to see that. Brad Patton holds on steady up in front. Position number 1 for the man in the number 1 as Caitlin Haight stays in tow in second. Your top 2 drivers still only separated by just about a 1/10 of a second, a 1/10 and a half maybe at the very most. They are oh so close to one another. Nothing more that can be done. Just keep yourself in that formation and you'll be good to go. Just keep hitting these marks. That's the game plan as your top 3 stay in cycle. And how do we look back on the number 1 machine? See that rear view. And Brad Patton right now up in front has that Caitlin Haight machine right behind. A perfect position to be in. I tell you what, for the number 1 machine, the place to be is indeed up in front. No better place like it when it comes to contending for a win, and Brad Patton certainly knows it as they come through turns 1 and 2 once again. Caitlin Haight going to be in second, Kevin Matz is in third, and your top 3 remaining formation with Seth Well there in fourth. Top 5 goes down to Chris Schetzler in fifth, Guillermo Alvarez in sixth, and then Tom Wetmore sees the number 82 with Stan Carlton go way up high. Carlton keeps the drive alive and works his way off the corner once again as Stan Carlton makes it by the number 82 machine, holds himself in line. However, Wetmore gets that 7th spot, and now Tom Wetmore charging once again and had to charge very far the early going to get back in this spot. Now for the 51 to Tom Wetmore, started in 15th spot. Not the best place to be. Clawed up to 3rd in the first run, then fell a bit further down. However, as it stands in the 7th spot at the moment, has been able to make those gains right back up and find himself just about in contention for the top 5. Just has to get by Alvarez and Schetzler. Stan Carlton has fallen off the most for those in that top 7 bunch, as now Brad Patton has Caitlin Haight all over him once again. Haight goes down low, looking to get that lead once more, and right down low, the number 11 machine takes it. The Cognizant Aramco machine has herself another run, and Sethwell sends it 3, door banging for the lead, and how about that? That could have been a big move, and it's going to be a roar across the front stretch. Once again, they keep battling. Sethwell will not give in as they make it into 1 and 2 all over again. The number 8 machine knows what he wants. He wants that 2nd spot. He wants to chase down first as Caitlin Haight makes it off the back once again. Simply will not relinquish. Sethwell goes up high. No big deal for him. He'll just keep battling until it's all over. Brad Patton going to be there in 2nd. It's going to be Caitlin Haight down low in 1st. Sethwell, I tell you what, found himself almost into the wall there and back again. He's a very aggressive driver. Did not want to find himself in the wall, though. Backed off, calculating that aggression. That's the way you want to drive it if you're the man in that number 88. Don't mess up your race so early. There's so much more to run. You really don't want to find yourself out of order that early in the going. Caitlin Haight going to be able to lead the way right now in that number 11. Getting it back from Brad Patton. Sethwell sending it 3 wide. Really changed the complexion up here. And now Sethwell looks to be able to get that beneficiary spot in 2nd as Brad Patton gets cycled out of the runner-up spot. Patton held on for as long as he could, but it simply appears that Sethwell had too much for him as Seth gets by. It's going to be Caitlin Haight there in lap number 65. Has the 11 up in front. You can see now Kevin and Matz goes down low for 3rd. Kevin and Matz is having himself a race right now. Goes down low, nice and easy on the number 1 machine. Position number 1 held by the 11, but now Kevin and Matz chasing it down. Good to see this number 50 as Chris Schetzler now makes a move as well. This is all about track position. Now the strategy game might have shifted all over again. We're seeing drivers we did not expect to have up in front for much longer hold on very well despite the difference that we thought there was in pace early in the going. Same level of tire wear for these guys unless they're pushing that much harder. Caitlin Haight might be, as 0.3 of a second she's got an advantage over Sethwell. Pulled a big gap there. The number 88 will have to claw her right back. It looks like it's going to be some easy picking if the number 88 can stay in the draft. But Caitlin Haight might have a trick up her sleeve. 67 laps in, coming oh so close to your lap number 80 stage break, and from there on out, we could go green. They worked their way off the backstretch once again. Guillermo Alvarez going to be right there, and Stan Carlton down low as well, keeps fighting. The number 82 has not quit. Good to see. Still battling very well in that number 82 machine as he worked his way off the corner. Once again, Carlton, the part-time driver in this league, has been able to put up some very solid runs, and right now looking to get his best. Gets by Alvarez one more time, and now looks to chase down Tom Wetmore. Wetmore had a big advantage over him as the 73 of Kyle Cooper goes right down low. Caitlin Haight, though, has that advantage over the field that has not been given up. Sethwell now I'm going to be taking a look at it. Can he get something going? We'll find out. It looks like now he might have another shot at the line. A 7:04 for Caitlin Haight. Sethwell was actually slow that time by, but ever since the last time we checked on these two, Sethwell has gained about 1/10 of a second. So the 88 definitely doing something right, trying to find out what that edge is to get the lead. And looking on the front end camera of the number 88 machine, you can see Caitlin Haight is in close distance. Once again, it takes a peek at it. Cannot really go for it, though, as the sun is beginning to set here in Charlotte. The number 88 knows time running out. Lap 69, a nice run so far. What's it going to take to elevate it to the next level? He will have to wait and see. 70 through now. It's going to be Chris Schetzler holding on his own in the 4th spot. Tom Wetmore going to be side by side for 5th. Now Stan Carlton holds steady with Alan Dobbs as they're getting double file 2 rows deep in positions number 7 and 8. Dobbs has that edge that time by, though the backstretch momentum carries him in, and now Stan Carlton has to work his way back down on the low groove. 70 laps to put this one together. Sam Nito going to be there in second. It's going to be actually second in the battle for 8th. He's in 9th right now. Bit of a mix-up for the number 2 machine as Nick Tarbuck tries to get in the single digits. Nick scored in position number 10, trying to get up there to the 9th spot. He's got a multi-car pack right in front that he could pick off of, and almost 75 laps in, Tarbuck looks to make it happen. That time by, though, cannot make the move. Gets close. No cigar, though, as the number 11 machine of Caitlin Haight also finds herself in a bit of a battle, but it seems like it's beginning to wear off. Seth Well got as close as about 7 hundredths of a second. That time by only about a 10th and a half. Simply not able to make it happen as Brad Patton now charges up on the both of them. It could be a 3-car battle for the lead, and look at that gap. These guys are beginning to make a show of their own as the rest of the field continues to battle fiercely. Down low, Tom Wetmore takes it once again. Alan Dobbs stays up high. It's going to be Kevin Matz keeping himself in order, and as they all run in this fashion, it's far from orderly, but the number 50 machine knows one thing. He wants to be at the top of this order. At the end of another lap, Kevin Matz scored in 5th, but it's going to be Alan Dobbs splitting at 3 this time by, and Alan gonna make that move stick. Gets by the number 50, does not get by the number 51. Wetmore, though, gonna have to concede that time through. Simply too much momentum to handle as they go 3 once again. Gonna be now Matz, Tarbuck, and Carnelton 3 wide at the exit of corner number 4 for the second time running. Once again, going to be able to make it through an incident. Stan Carnelton has the edge on the inside as they come to another lap of action. Carnelton bumps him up high. No contact between Matz and Tarbuck, and it looks like Kevin Matz actually going to fall a bit further back. He does not want to get caught up in that wreck and find himself out of this event. Seth Well now side by side for the lead, looks to take it, and just like that, Well leads the way, but not without giving a bit of a gap. There's a number 11 machine, and Caitlin Haight had a shot, did not take it. The number 11 makes the first mistake of this battle, and the chess match rages on, but it could be a stalemate until the end of the stage. 75 laps in, and what becomes too late to make a move for the stage for the drivers behind the top 3. It might be the very last lap, but for these guys, it might just not be worth it to chase down another stage win. Now, Seth Well, Caitlin Haight, both are winners. You know who isn't, though? Brad Patton, and Patton finds himself right now in the 12th spot in the standings for the playoffs, only 6 points ahead of Guillermo Alvarez, and while running ahead of Alvarez right now, needs these points to perhaps make a solid run in the playoffs. Seth Well now going to get high on Caitlin Haight. Caitlin going to keep it right down low there, then concedes. Lets that number 88 go down low. Brad Patton tries to steal the show and go for second. It looks like he'll have a shot as the number 11 stays right there up high. It's going to be taken, but it looks like it will not be a made move. Brad Patton finds himself now back in 3rd. Caitlin Haight's up in 2nd, and 77 laps in, Seth Well leads the way by now 2/10 as the battle rages on between Tarbuck and Tom Wetmore. Wetmore going to be up high. It's going to be Nick Tarbuck right down low, and the sun begins to set here in Charlotte. It is telling. Soon the nighttime sky will be out, and there's not much more that we can say after that point. Nicholas Ward going to be there in the number 97, holding steady in position number 10. Stan Carleton going to be in 11th right now. Guillermo Alvarez is in 12th, and Alvarez makes a cutoff move on Kevin Matz. Matz as high as the 3rd spot earlier in this stint, now back down to 13th, waiting for lap number 80, so a reset in strategy can be pulled off. Well leads him down the back once again, and look at him go. Caitlin Hagan there in 2nd, Brad Patton there in 3rd, and 78 laps in. It's been an awful clean race so far. One caution for cause, a single car spin on pit road exit by Jacob Fife. Rest of this time has been left to the racers. The racers race as always in the Integrity Octane Series, and if you have enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Your support is always greatly appreciated. 970 subscribers we enter tonight with that number, and we're only 30 away from making it happen for the big 1,000. As right now, the 88 machine holds on. It's tough. Big time battle. Nicholas Ward, Cody Smith, Nick Tarbuck, and then Chris Schessler, Tom Wetmore there as well. They're all trading it back and forth as they come through one more time. Seth Well looks to make it one lap to go here in the stage, and that it is going to be a big move from Chris Schetzler there, trying to get a few extra playoff points. And either way, the battle rages on there. There's a one battle up front for the stage win. Coming off the backstretch this time by Seth Well, trying to hold on to the stage win here in Charlotte. Caitlin Haight goes a bit further lower, does not make a move. One final opportunity here. Does the number 88 make a mistake, or does Caitlin Haight come out with the stage off of corner number 4? It's going to be no use, and Seth Well wins stage number 1 as we head to your yellow flag. Lap number 81. We are now under the yellow flag condition, and just like that, Seth Well comes home as your stage 1 winner. And Seth Well gets it done, stage 1. And without further ado, we ain't got much more to say so far. It has been a solid race up in front. Seth Well leads, Caitlin Haight's in second, Brad Patton's in third, Alan Dodds is in fourth, and to round out your top 5, it is Tom Wetmore. We still have over 100 laps remaining. We're almost there to the halfway mark, so stay tuned. The battle for the victory might just get kicked off after this caution. We've seen some long racing so far, multiple 40-lap stints already, and it looks like short pitting was the move for that first stage. Now, we'll see some guys try to flex their muscle and go all the way if they want to make it down to lap number 200, a winner. The field gets caught up under the iRacing official pace cars watch, and we'll go down to pit road once again. Now one retiree in Matt Jonas looks to be not an incident involving anyone else, but the number 15 done for the night and done until July. Unfortunate ending for him. Boomer Logan back on his way, 13 laps down, and we'll see how many laps they give him. Nicholas Ward has disconnected one too many times this season during races, and most often, if it is a hardware failure, they'll give him laps back as much as he can until he's back with the leaders. With that being said, the leaders come down pit road this time by. Let's see who gets it done, who has the edge after your first call is under yellow for stage number 2. And as everyone files into pit road, going to be Jim Fife Machine and John Steele both staying out to try to get laps back. Now, pit exit becoming a bit more occupied. We'll watch your race off pit road in contention. Now the 88 of Seth Well finds himself there in first. Alan Dobbs going to be in second, and Guillermo Alvarez will be in third. Who's going to make it off in the front spot after this pit stop? We'll find out. 4 tires and fuel. That's the way to go here as we still have over 100 laps remaining. And off of the pit road going to be Seth Well beating out Caitlin Haight, then Alan Dobbs, Tom Wetmore, Cody Smith, Brad Patton, Sam Nito, Nick Tarbuck, Chris Schetzler, Nicholas Ward, Stan Carthen, Ryan Farrell, Kevin Matz, then Jorge Canales going to be right there with the 27 of Victor Avila Felix to round out your top 15 off pit road. That is a word salad, and the 88 gets out once again in front. Once again, to repeat your top 5, Seth Well, the 88 out in front, Caitlin Haight's in second, Alan Dobbs is in third, Tom Wetmore is in fourth, and it is Cody Smith in the Next Level Racing, number 18 in third. You know what that means? Our first Next Level Racing promotional break of the night. We held out long because we knew the caution was going to fly, so we won't waste your time under green. NextLevelRacing.com, high quality sim racing performance products for dedicated sim racers who want nothing but the best. A proud partner of the Integrity Racing League all year long, representing the 2022 champion and Cody Smith and winners like Next Level Racing. So if you do want to check them out, visit nextlevelracing.com for more information. We'd love to have you in the NLR family. Once again, nextlevelracing.com for more information as we bring to you a brief message brought to you by nextlevelracing.com. And that will be your first Next Level Racing promotional break of the night. Back on our way, live on FTN, 84 laps in. And thank y'all to the chat members here tonight. It's going to be Kenny Real, Nancy Wetward tuning in and leaving a chat as we've gotten our way going. Seth Well is the man out in front with the 73 Swedish Fish Machine in position, well, not position number 1. Currently, Kyle Cooper scored in 26th. 11 laps down. Boomer Logan 10 laps down at the moment, getting some laps back, so it looks like he's getting a few more than the 1 usually given precaution. It does seem to be a hardware malfunction that caused all those laps to be lost, so that's the reason the number 88 machine leads the way, pit road winner. The reason the 94 is back on his way, well, hardware malfunction causes the loss of laps, and Kyle Cooper gets his laps back. It seems something else caused his issue. 11 laps down for the number 73 machine. He's in 26th. Logan's 25th. Still only 1 retiree in 27th, so not much to be worried about for the number 88 machine. 85 laps in, it's gone swimmingly so far for your leader. Let's see if it can stay that way. A long way to haul this one home in Concord, North Carolina. And Seth Well, no stranger to victory lane. Many of these drivers are not in this league. Veterans, rookies, what have you. We've got a great mix of talent, and they're all here to clash once again. The second stage will begin this time through, led by your number 88 machine once again. Well, will have himself another opportunity to best the best as we head down to your second stage. It's just getting started here in Charlotte. Lap 85, the final lap under yellow, hopefully, maybe for the entire night. But lap 86 begins the second stage of the evening. Let's get it going. This time through off of corner number 4. Going to be Seth Well leading the way as the second restart of the night brings home your second stage. Let's go racing. The second restarts here in round number 15. And we are back on our way here in Charlotte. And Seth Well once again pulls together a great start off the beginning portion of the track. They're going to be 3 wide between Tom Wetmore, Cody Smith, and that number 18 is with Alan Dobbs right now. They're all getting all diced up very early. And the second stage bringing together some intense racing, the likes of which we saw very early in the first stage. 3 wide, Nicholas Ward takes it, and Nicholas Ward practice making perfect. A 97, another dicey move, gets him 2 spots at once. Phenomenal maneuver there for the number 97 Coors machine. That's exactly what you got to do in a position like his to make up spots and make up time. A ferocious competitor, Nicholas Ward, has been tonight, and he is looking to get back up there in sight of your leading men. Top 2 guys going to be, well, Seth Well and Caitlin Haight, and right now Caitlin Haight on the back bumper, well, like it's nothing. She's got a real good grip on the front of the pack, and 88 laps in, it's been the 88 putting on a great show. However, right now, Tom Wetmore finds himself in third, had a great pit stop, and that might be what is the ticket to his success for the remaining portion of this race. Well, I'll tell you this much, a lot remains after this point on. You think what we've seen so far has been intense? Just stick around until the end. Right down low, going to be Seth Well keeping himself in tow. Tom Wetmore gets in second, and now Caitlin Haight is in third. Wetmore goes for the lead here. Number 51 looking for win number 4. Has charged from 15th on the grid up to the top spot on the leaderboard. And right now, it could be in the game plan for Seth Well to just lie back. He saw drivers like Don Stevenson using up their equipment to get up in front with a big gap. Right now, Stevenson finds himself in a very far back position. We saw a bit of an incident. Is it truly going to be yellow? No, they saved it. And it was Nicholas Ward. I thought he was going to go around. Unbelievable, phenomenal save. Take a look on back live on FTN. This is going to go back to your replay. Nicholas Ward, I tell you what, on my end, he was about 35 degrees sideways. Take a look at this again. Tapped by Schessler, and he was real sideways. He saves it, keeps it going, and saves the field from another yellow flag. Phenomenal from Nicholas Ward, and he keeps himself on our way. That's what the 97 machine had to do to keep in contention. Absolutely the move of his race to keep himself, in fact, inside the top 10 battle. Kenny Real doing doing a bit of a duel right now, and now we're going to be in the single digits. The number 28 machine, he's had a lot of pace, has just not had the luck to make it happen. And now with the special red, white, and blue paint scheme, looking to put it all together for the country of the good old USA, red, white, and blue, all around Charlotte Motor Speedway and America's home for racing. It's on the wall, so it must be true. Looks like Kenny Reel having a good run within it. We'll see a lot more of Kenny Reel live on FTN when the Wednesday night 4 Cup Series begins its tour with the B-Man Designs Duels next Wednesday. And I tell you what, I was thinking I would have almost no broadcast for y'all next week, but it looks like 4 keeping me busy. 2 twin heats of 60 laps apiece, and that means an awful lot more racing as Nicholas Ward goes almost around again. The second time he saved it, he's up on the wall, almost up off the track. He saves it again. Nicholas Ward goes almost spinning for the second time, and he's got himself a very pretty hold on that wheel. He's going to be 3 wide right now, and I'm certain he'll back off, but still phenomenal to save us again from a yellow flag. The 97 machine and Nicholas Ward has been up and down that track to no end. He still is holding on strong, but certainly not the position that he'd like to have. Certainly not representative of the pace he has in that number 97, but still representative of that wheel work. He could have been on a record a long time before then. However, right now, he is not. Looking up front, though, going to be Tom Wetmore leading the way. The 51 goes down low once again. However, Sethwell has that momentum. Whenever Sethwell finds himself in a corner, he just pulls another card out of his sleeve. He's always got another trick no matter how you try to race him, and the 88 pulls out to a lead once again from the outside. That almost looked like he was not going to be able to make it back, and yet he did. Phenomenal job there for the 88 machine, and it's all about keeping yourself in check, not about that fantastic sort of move that we saw from 97. Just log your laps. And that's what Cody Smith is doing right now. Now, Smith has been inside the top 5, top 10 all night long. That's a given. He's always a great driver in this league, always solid and consistent. However, when it comes to his performance right now, it seems to be getting better and better. He's not being pressured by the guys down low, the guys and gals down low, to be honest. He's just keeping himself up high, lap after lap, staying inside the top 5. Right now, running side by side with Caitlin Hayton. Not much more you can ask out of a driver like the 18, a veteran, the 2022 Integrity Racing League champion. And before the Octane Series began, it was only 1 series in this league. He came on, was the overall title winner then. Maybe he'll have a shot to do so once more as he continues to put together great runs time after time. A second win would really lock him in. You know who has a second win? Both Sethwell and Tom Wetmore. As a matter of fact, Tom Wetmore has a win to spare to make it 2 wins. And right now, Sethwell trying to find himself in the 3-win category as well. The most dominant of the 2 drivers up in front. You could debate between either of which. They have been up there, top of their class, race after race. But tonight, the 88 seems to have a bit of an edge on that long run, even if someone else like Tom Wetmore, Caitlin Hayter, even Don Stevenson have something for him in the short term. And 97 laps in, my oh my, this one's gone fast. 2 yellows, yes, that is the case. We have seen fewer than that in a 300-mile race in this league. However, only 1 caution would cause so far tonight, and we have seen some great wheel work to keep us away from another yellow flag. These drivers just want to keep on racing, and it's always clear here in this league, not racing like it's the last lap. And that's the thing, a lot of different leagues bring together a lot of different racing discipline. Now, I broadcasted the Iora event to thank the Heroes 300, a much younger group than this league. They were racing all out each and every one of the 200 laps, even wrecking under yellow a few times, simply trying to get back with the pace car. Right now, though, does not seem to be the case here. They just want to make it calm and collected to that checkered flag. If you have a shot there at the end, it's much better than having a shot early and then wrecking yourself out. That's simply how it is in racing. Brad Patton goes down low to the inside line, and Nick Tarbuck once again. Tarbuck, though, going to be able to get that clearance, and Alan Dobbs now finds himself there in 7th with Sam Neal in 8th. Chris Schetzler going to be position number 9 with Kenny Reel in 10th. Victor Avila Felix going to be in 11th right now, and you can see the Avila Felix machine get by the number 84. Jorge Canales now in 12th, getting closer and closer to the up front portion of the circuit, actually in front of his teammate in Guillermo Alvarez. Alvarez finds himself right now in the 21st spot, battling with Nicholas Ward, and Ward has had a hard knock run so far to find himself that far down. A bit of a troublesome run for the 83-2 as we come down to the halfway mark, this time by Tom Wetmore. If they had one, it would be the halfway bonus to him, and that will be it for the first 150 miles. Now 150 to go, and I believe actually tonight the Coke Series, the NASCAR Official Series, what have you, they're racing only a 150-mile race. Well, how about that? iRacing does sanction a 600-mile event on this week. Most pro drivers do it, and yet their race is only a quarter distance. Meanwhile, here in FTN, we've done the distance of the Coke 600 twice over, albeit in multiple different races, and each one of those races have been half distance to the big 600-mile show. Sometimes you don't know what's going on there in iRacing HQ. A great service, a great platform, but I do think those drivers would love a bit of a bigger challenge. Right now, the challenge is on for the final 150. Wetmore leads the way. The 51 machine finds himself out in front with Seth Well there in second indeed. Top two guys have stayed mostly stagnant. Caitlin Hayden almost brings a bumper there and almost checks up the entirety of the field. In a situation like this, you're not racing stock cars, you're almost racing bumper cars. One guy, one girl gets checked up, find themselves on the wall, then you're going to bring a lot of guys down with you. One goes down, many drivers go down at the same time. 3 wide right now. Let's see if these guys go down the hill together. It looks like Alan Dobbs does lose a bit of momentum and lets Brad Patton go right by on the high side. We've seen many 3 wide moves already tonight, and the number 1 machine always making the high line work when he can, trying that extra edge, so to speak. If he can find a bit of a difference in pace that gets him quicker, he'll take it. Brad Patton denied a victory at Daytona in a photo finish at the line. It was an oh-so-close one, clean nothing. When it came to wrecking, simply did not have the pace to get it at the checkered, but since then, he's ran very well so far in this season, simply not able to lock up a victory, and that would get him into the playoffs with flying colors, at least at the moment. The red, white, and blue machine flying up high as Caitlin Haight is in third, Tom Wetmore is in second, and Seth Well is now back in the lead. 3 wide between Dobbs, Tarbuck, and Seth Well. Not going to be there. It's Brad Patton with them as 96 laps remain in this one here in Charlotte. It has been the 88 machine out in front all night long, and ever since his loss at Iowa, where he came to the checkered flag first but got penalized for a restart violation, a spark has been lit under him. Got it done last time by at Sonoma, and he's looking to double up this time, and he's got a brand new look in the number 88. Now, he didn't represent it on the ticker because we had a bit of a technical issue last week at Sonoma during the yellow flag, but now you can see it's all black and white. He has gone for the basics and everything but the racing. Seth Well for Nexus Esports and Slash and Go Graphics has been able to put a splash of originality in with his racing style. Simply the best of the best. He knows when to use them and when to be a little more careful. Nobody else seems to have that patience. The number 88 machine does. Tom Wetmore is there in second. Caitlin Haight is there in third. Let's look for a double file battle on the track. Certainly there is one, and it's going to go back to a guy like Kenny Real for a moment. Let's look a bit further up, though. Looks like it's going to be Stan Carnathan and Guillermo Alvarez. We can see the intervals between each and every one of these drivers. Alvarez is charging high, and he is charging hard. Now in the 15th spot, going for 14th. And I'll tell you what, he is quick, and the reason is he's got a bit of a younger set of tire compared to everyone else in front of him in the field. He is on a 22-lap-old tire set, and while it is not a major difference, when these laps begin to get wound down and these drivers push to their limit, you'll begin to see the new tires come to life. And for the driver who's in the 20th position last time we checked on him, now finds himself within the top 15, even battling with his teammate, and all so long, that number 84 held the advantage over the number 83. It looks like Alvarez gets it right back. Great maneuver there for the number 83. However, the 84 keeps on battling, and they both slow each other down as they chase the number 36 of Jacob Fife together. Fife finds himself just outside the top 10 barrier in position number 12, and Ryan Farrell there in 11th. Victor Avila Felix going to be in 10th. Chris Schetzler going to be 9th, and Cody Smith is there in 8th. Sam Nito 7th as the battle up front persists. Tom Wetmore down low, and the 88 going to stay up high. Wetmore, just when you think he's down and out, he comes right back with another swinging punch at this lead. He's got himself in a shot once again as they come off the corner number 4. It's going to be right down low where Tom Wetmore likes it to keep it in the battle for the lead. The contending battle has not shifted too much. The same faces, just at different places. However, looks like a different place to advantage. The number 51 machine is exactly what could come down if not for Taylor Hayden to go up high and give Sethwell a bit more of a boost aerodynamically. And the sun is setting, the track is getting brighter and brighter, and just before it all gets to its brightest point, you will see the sun fade from the distance. It's going to be a night race eventually here in Charlotte, and when it gets down to that point, we are going to see many different drivers begin to come up, maybe not up front, but the nighttime is the right time for each and every one of these drivers. So if they can pull together a later, better run, then they might just have a shot as the sun continues to shine here in Charlotte. Caitlin Hayde out in front in second, now battling two wide, Tom Wetmore and Nick Tarba. They'll keep themselves honest as they come through the corner once again. Alan Dobbs gets by the both of them, and now Wetmore fades back in the fourth. Alan Dobbs going to be in third, Caitlin Hayde in second, and Seth Noel in first. 29 laps in on this stint, and that means we have an approximate about 20 laps at the very most left on this run before our next pit stop cycle is in effect. That being said, it's going to be pretty dicey from there on out. It will be, I believe, a two-stop race from this moment on. We're 89 laps to go. The average run seems to be about 40-45 laps, and we did have a yellow flag to kick this one off. That might extend it a bit further, meaning that these drivers might have the opportunity to come home after the next pit stop. Well, of course, the next pit stop after the one they'll have to make this time through, or the next. So we will see. Bit indecisive, 88 laps to go. The 88 finds himself in front. The 11 going to be there in second. And looking further back right now, it's going to be dead even between Schessler and Ryan Farrell. Ryan going to be able to hold it right up high and keeping himself honest. The number 84 machine not there, but the 24 is. And now it's going to be Ryan Farrell passing that 24 for the ninth spot to get in the single digits. Chris Schessler's in 10th. My, oh my, Schessler's had a good run. An on-and-off driver in this league. An admin, as a matter of fact, we don't see all too often in the racing, has found himself yet another good run. When he was racing what appeared to be a full-time season, he was inside that top 12 bubble, but many have come and many have gone, as now Victor Avila Felix goes down to the low line to make a pass work off corner exit, and it looks like he'll have an opportunity to go for it. He has that inside line right down to the blue striping, the blue paint here at Charlotte, as iconic as ever. Shades of course, the color scheme from the United States and Memorial Day's most fitting race circuit, the Coke 600 that we always see. And as a matter of fact, the Coke 600 yesterday, instead of Sunday, a doubleheader for NASCAR, almost 900 miles worth that Justin Haley drove, the highest number set for one driver in any of NASCAR's sanctioned race days. He raced both in the Xfinity and Cup Series event, came one lap down in the Xfinity race, 2 laps down in Cup, for a total of about, I believe, about 890 odd miles in that event. Phenomenal performance there, and not to mention, of course, cool down laps, perhaps coming to race it down to pit road. A lot of action, high stakes, 300 miles here tonight. It still is as high stakes as ever. 116 through 85 laps to do it, and Seth Wells still has them in check. And we'll see if he has them in a stranglehold the remainder of this one, or if it's going to be smoke and mirrors by the time we come down to your next pit cycle. 117 laps in, and that next pit cycle, it is indeed imminent. Stan Carlin right now in the big battle, as a matter of fact, the biggest on the track. Nicholas Warkin right there, the 97 machine, working his way right down the backstretch, and it looks like that 24 right there with them. And for the number 24 of Chris Schessler, he has been up and down. He was in the top 5 for a moment, now finds himself outside the top 10, battling to stay inside the top 15. His tires might be wearing out just a bit more than the average driver, and it is evident he has fallen back even a few spots while we've been watching him. Bad news for him right now. Nicholas Ward has himself in a good shot to make a few spots up, as Ward's now back in 13th. For the driver who almost spun twice over in this run, to be back just outside the top 10 is a miracle in itself. It has been a great show, but the number 47 machine now has himself another good opportunity at the top 10. Don Stevenson needs every point he can get. He's been battling with Ross Cato in that number 12 machine. However, tonight, Ross Cato is a no-show. Unfortunate to see for the number 12 machine not here on the night, which means Don Stevenson should move up if all goes well for his championship ploy as the highest driver in points without any victory on the season. Right now, Ross Cato holds that over him by only 14 points, but with Ross Cato not being here, it is all but a lock for the number 47 to move up one spot in the standings from 10th to 9th. That's how many winners we've had. You need to be a winner to lock yourself in for sure. The rest of the field continues to fight each other for wins. Of course, they mean a lot, and for position. But either way, the 88 machine, who is coming to his own as of recent, leads over Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin's only been 1/10 of a second away from your leader for what feels like an eternity. 120 laps in, and she is still right there. You could probably rewind to multiple points in this race, multiple different track settings, multiple drivers, different up in front, and she would still be right there. She's been awful consistent all night long. And for that number 11, I think she's still got something in the tank to contend with the best of them. Going to be up high, though. Caitlin Hay has to swerve right down low. Kyle Cooper stays high. Not much more that 73 machine can do in that scenario. Just keep it up high. Make sure you don't get involved with any other driver, and it looks like that he will. Kyle Cooper goes 12 laps down this time by, and as it stands, Cooper, the only driver more than 10 laps down to still be racing. Matt Jonas, your only retiree, who was a total of 66 laps down, was only about 3 down by the time we caught him first. Retired from the session. Side by side now, Alan Dobbs has a shot up high, and just like that, the momentum loss from Kyle Cooper going right by will give Alan Dobbs one spot and give Tom Wetmore the other. A 2-for-1 loss for the number 51 machine. No, it's a 2-for-1 loss for the 11 again. However, for the 51 and the 05, one driver down and in this time by. That looks to be John Steele. Steele's in this time through, and it might be a steal for strategy. We'll see whether or not it works out, or if this is not the way to go. It's going to be the first man in on your strategy after stage 2 began. It's a 37-lap stint for the number 22, and it is now John Steele in to pit stall 16. We'll see what he's got in store as Seth Well leads the way, and the sun has been setting for quite some time now. It is evident, though, it is almost out of your visibility entirely. The number 11 of Caitlin Haight goes down and in once again, tries to get it on top. Wetmore almost does that time through, and now has a shot to take it nice and easy. That she does. And just like that, the number 51 machine of Tom Wetmore has to hold his head up high and wait another day to get into that scenario. It looks like right now, nothing more that he can do but keep on battling up high. But Caitlin Haight down low knows there is a lot of distance that is covered just by staying on that lower group. The battle between distance and momentum has been an age-old topic in this league. And once again, it seems like momentum gets the edge here in Charlotte. The high line has been coming into its own, but there seems to be no real preference. Some guys can run better up high, some guys better down low. It all depends on how your car is driving at the given moment. 76 laps remain for Seth Well out in front, the 88 machine. And for Nexus Esports, he's looking awful good so far. Now, Seth Well coming up on a lap machine this time. Bob, does he choose to go into pit road? We will find out. It looks like that is a resounding no. Seth Well stays out in front, keeps the field right there with him. John Steele on the wall that time by. Bad news there, but he'll keep it going. And it looks like he'll just stay up on the high side, not impact your leading battle. Steele back on the way as the Seth Well machine holds on steady up in front, and the 05 machine of Alan Dobbs stays there in second. Tom Wetmore going to be in third, going to be Caitlin Haight in the fourth spot, then Sam Nero in fifth. Dave Tarbuck is there in sixth with Cody Smith in seventh. Brad Patton going to be there in the grade 8 here. He is holding on nice and smooth. The number 1 machine in the top 10, as your top 10 now has Don Stevenson. And how about that, Nicholas Ward? This number 97 has been through an awful lot to stay up in the battle, and it looks like despite everything, still there again. The 97 machine has fought through race after race to stay up in the top 15, top 10. Disconnections have been a plague, but tonight he's been tapped out more than once. He's been able to save it, and he's gotten by many of those who got involved with an incident with him. So the 97 award now finds himself in a much better spot than anticipated, holding on strong with only 73 laps remaining. Seth Well leads the way with Alan Dobbs in second, Tom Wetmore in third. Now your top 3 guys have about a second within each other. Wetmore going to be in third at the moment, and Sam Nito is there in fourth. Caitlin Haight rounds out your top 5 as Nick Tarbuck is there in sixth. Cody Smith going to be seventh right now, and the Smith machine running on his lonesome here, almost 130 laps in. And with all being said and done, this is the longest stint put together by each and every one of these drivers. 46 laps in, and we do not seem to have any signs that these guys will come in anytime soon. They're trying to stretch this one all the way. Of course, we did see one man going in. That was the number 22 of John Steele. Now multiple come in with Alan Rawa alongside Bobby Ross. Not Bobby Ross's night after his first podium of the season. Has not made the best of this one. Simply needs a rebound from here on out if he wants any chance to get up in front. It's going to be Alan Rawa in with him, and just like that, 245 lap stints come to a close. 71 laps to go, and Seth Wells is going to try to run this one out until it is all over. Now, the thing about this situation is that number 88 machine will have to keep on racing until, well, I'd say about 20 laps for now, 51 to go, if he really wants to be safe on his strategy. I don't think that's possible. The fuel cells are giving in and giving up. If the number 88 machine even were to go 15 laps from this point onward, it would be a miracle for his strategy. We've seen some alternate strategy games played before, so it is not out of the question, but it still could happen. And for the number 88 and Nexus Esports, he really wants it to happen. It's been a great opportunity for a victory, and it seems like every race is a great opportunity for him, but nothing has gone the way of the Alan Dobbs machine. However, the 05 may slice it. This would be a great rebound run for a driver who continues to fight up in front. Alan Dobbs at the moment finds himself going very strong in second, but he would need a victory to lock himself in to the playoff picture. 69 laps to go. It's been a nice run for Seth Well. Can he get even nicer, and can he come home with the victory? That remains to be seen, as we have lots to go with 15th round on this run of the Integrity Octane Series season. 15th round, Charlotte Motor Speedway, for what has been so far the longest race of the season. 300 miles of action, 132 laps in, make it 133, and the 88 holds on strong by about a quarter of a second over Alan Dobbs. Tom Wetmore going to be there in third. And you know what? With all this time we have, how about we take a look at your playoff picture on your screen? We're going to put it on in just a moment. Give us a second to get it on there. Many drivers who you've been familiar with all season long are indeed locked in. And of course, it has Todd Wetmore, the top man on that board with 3 wins. Caitlin Hayton, Seth Well right now is tied for second. And if Tom Wetmore does find himself the loser to this battle and Seth Well finds himself the winner, it will be Seth Well up there tied for the top seed with Tom. Cody Smith, Cody Griffin, both 1 win. Stan Neal, a win as well. Nick Tarbuck has 1 win, and so does Jacob Fife, 8 winners so far. Then you go to Ross Cato, scored a 9th. He'll eventually, and I would say it is inevitably going to be him falling down below Don Stevenson. Guillermo Alvarez, 6 points above the bubble as Brad Patton enters as your bubble driver. Ryan Farrell, Bobby Ross, and Kevin Matz are all very close to that top 12 bubble. They could become threats by the time your playoff picture becomes a reality. We are still a ways away from that, several months away. 15 races in out of the 30 race season, and the number 88 machine has been one of the premier guys all season long. He wants to keep that up. He has been an absolute star this season, and with only more than 65 laps, just more than 65 to go, knows to complete this leg of the tour, he wants to come out the winner. Very few drivers have come in. Next to come in going to be Guillermo Alvarez, and Alvarez makes it through, and he's ran a 50 lap stint. So slowly but surely it becomes more feasible to see these drivers go all the way on their stint, at least to make it a one-stopper. I think I'll have to take back my word. The 88 might just have the shot to make it all the way through without making it 2 stops from here. 1 stop would be ideal, that's for certain. 53 laps in to his stint, 65 laps to go. He's getting closer to that safe cushion, and if he gets safe, he'll be safe no matter what. Bar a late race caution, which we don't seem to be in line to have, should be good to go. Now, Jacob Fife in that number 36, the only driver who brought out a caution for cause all night long, is just outside the top 10. Big rebound for him. For those tuning in for the first time tonight live on FTN, Jacob Fife brings out your only caution for cause. We had a lap 80 stage break, but that was not caused by any driver. That was simply the way it goes here in this league. Jacob Fife, though, spins off a pit exit, and that is what causes your first and only cause yellow of the night. The 36 machine, while having some front end damage to begin this run, has been able to alleviate that damage with the successive yellows as Brad Patton makes it in this time by. Patton goes through in the red, white, and blue, number 1. freshen up energy. He's looking to freshen up his tires and put on one last set of stickers to go all the way out. Seth Well, 55 laps into his run, 63 laps to go, is getting closer to that equilibrium that he wants to hit. He is getting each and every lap in, saving some fuel now, and perhaps that's just a product of the slower speeds with older tires. 62 to go now. Last time by, Seth Well ran a 31.346. His best run lap on the night is the best lap in session overall, and that was a 30.188. Actually, it was outdone by Guillermo Alvarez. Alvarez had a 30.137. Nonetheless, that number 88 machine finds himself with 62 to go under yellow. We have a yellow flag for Jim Fife this time by, and the yellow falls as Jim Fife gets off the track. Thankfully able to avoid him, everyone is. We have a yellow flag for the second time tonight. How about that? And pit cycles just begun. I'm thinking they'll be over after this yellow flag. Let's get your FTN replay on the matter and see what happened to Jim this time by. His son Jacob Fife went around earlier, and now it seems like the father-son duo, they both brought out yellows. Let's find out who caused it. And it looks like Guillermo Alvarez tags that 63, so not alone Jim Fife was this time by, but the Triple P Pro Powder and Paint machine finds himself caught up in the wall, and nothing more that he could do in that scenario. He gets the same front end damage his son did, and now the father-son duo might be in a bit more trouble. Jim right now 3 laps down in 22nd, and he was able to get it off the grass there. He finds himself now going down to pit road as Seth Well leads the way in the 88. 61 laps to go, and we're back down pit road once again. Just like that, back into pit road here in Charlotte. Your second caution for cause, your third yellow overall, and the rest of the field comes in, bar a few drivers who do indeed remain out. And those drivers go as the following. It looks to be that the Alan Rollin machines did stay out. Jim Fife, John Steele, Bobby Ross, Boomer Logan, and Kyle Cooper. Rest of your guys are indeed down to pit road. Let's see who wins off pit road here. This is the big money stop, and this should be good to go from here on out. And off the pit exit going to be Alan Dobbs beating off Sam Neo, then going to be Seth Well, Caitlin Haight, Tom Wilmore, Cody Smith, Nicholas Ward, Don Stevenson, then Jacob Fife, with Stan Carson and Guillermo Alvarez's teammate in Jorge Canales. Just after that, it is going to be the driver of that number 4, Nick Tarbuck, with Randy Fiash. A silent night for him so far, as the number 24 of Chris Schessler gets back on the move. Going to be a bit of an emptier pit road in your first run. Nonetheless, Alan Dobbs leads the way over Sam Nito, then Seth Well in third, Caitlin Hayden fourth, Tom Wentworth fifth, and in the sixth spot, it is Cody Smith. And for the second time, we are under yellow, so we'll get your second Next Level Racing and promotional message on your screen. NextLevelRacing.com, high-quality sim racing performance products for dedicated sim racers who want nothing but the best. The best sim racers choose Next Level Racing for all of their equipment simulation racing needs. Visit NextLevelRacing.com for more information on the proud partner of the Integrity Racing League. We'd love for you to join the NLR family, so check out NextLevelRacing.com after this broadcast is over. Thank you all for your time. 15th round here at Charlotte before the summer break begins, and 60 remain, so stick around after this brief message courtesy of Next Level Racing. And that will be your second Next Level Racing promotional break of the night. And just like that, we are back on FTN. You won't miss a thing under green tonight unless we do go all the way from here on out without a yellow flag. One more of those Next Level Racing promotionals is due to come their way, and for good reason. The winner of the Integrity Octane Series Championship comes home with a $2,000 simulation rig courtesy of Next Level Racing. Now, Boomer Logan, it seems like he's made the Next Level Racing switch very early. 8 laps down at the moment in the 94 machine. slowly but surely working his way up. He said tonight's the first time he's using his brand new Next Level Racing chassis. And of course, a partner of this league. Love to see that cross promotion between the league and its drivers, its sponsors as well. Boomer Logan coming in for the Integrity Night Series side as a double duty driver. Great to have him aboard once again. Alan Dobbs leads the way, 58 to go. Double file once again as the lights begin to shine. This time the stadium lights in Charlotte as the yellow flag has flown for the third time tonight. Down low, Dobbs goes. Up high, Sam Nito stays. And we'll head back to green with only 57 laps remaining. That will be a good run on fuel for these leaders. They've been able to play it picture perfect from this point onward, and they should have an opportunity to come home under green, if not under fumes. I'll tell you what, it could be a tight one on fuel mileage right now, but they should be good to go. Under our calculations, that indeed seems to be the case as the number 05 machine of Alan Dobbs holds on up front. Sam Nito second, Seth Noel going to be in third, and Caitlin Haight there in fourth, with Cody Smith to round out your top five. The stadium lights appear to be officially on here in Charlotte, and it is now time to get a groove on, and the night sky will come out to play. The sun has set, and the nighttime will be the right time for every one of these drivers as Seth Noel blinks out again just a bit. No big issue. The big issue is who's going to take that lead spot from here. That's going to be settled between these drivers as the third restart of the night comes to play, this time by Let's Go once again as the driver of the number 05 machine leads him in. Restart number 3, Charlotte Let's Go Racing once again. 57 laps to go. And Alan Dobbs right there in the 05 machine takes that lead off a corner exit. Big bang in the back of the field going to be the number 84 and the number 4. Both of these two going to be able to do battle with one another. How about that slicing, dicing, and they're going to be real close to Chris Schetzler too. It could be a bit of a beat banger right now. Stan Carlton gets in the wall. Nick Tarbuck looks for the high line. He will take it and try to get by that number 82 machine without hesitation. He'll be right up the track just a bit. No worry, he'll just keep on going. The momentum will keep him in this position without much hesitation. Alan Dobbs leads the way right now. Sam Nito in second, and it looks like Seth Noel got jumped for yet another position. Something going right for Sam Nito and something going wrong for Seth, but we have seen Seth Noel is a driver who likes to lay back on these starts, let every other driver get involved with each other's messes, and just take control from there. You don't want to find yourself the leader very early in the going. Waste your resources. You really want to find yourself later in the run. Just find your groove, find your pace. Don't overrun yourself and don't overwear your tire. All about patience. And there's a big game here in Charlotte. The patience is a big factor. And on this 1.5 mile stage, you really don't want to mess up no matter what. But all about that consistency as Sam Nito takes it right down to the inside line with Alan Dobbs. Now it's going to be Nito up in front as Alan Dobbs fades further. He'll be shuffled out by the number 88 machine as well. Now Sam Nito finds himself in the lead. Jacob Fife now going to be there inside the top 10. Fife looking down on the inside line on Nicholas Ward. Down low, the number 36 machine goes, looking to keep that number 97 honest. He has an opportunity to do so, and it looks like he will take it. Good job there for the number 36, Jacob Fife. Nicholas Ward going to be right where with them, and the 5th spot occupied by Wetmore. Not if the 18 can do anything about it. The single file train doesn't mean they're close for a battle, and right now Tom Wetmore hoping not to get initiated to fight for 5th. He wants to keep it there no matter what, and he'd certainly love to keep battling on. Down low, Cody Smith goes once again. Jacob Fife going to be up high, and Jacob Fife takes it up to the high side once again for the Triple P Pro Power Paint Machine out of, I believe, it's going to be Ashland, Virginia, and they are putting together a good run a few states away from home, Concord, North Carolina. The Triple P operation finds themselves up in front. Jacob Fife going to be position number 6 at the moment, working his way right off the back of that number 51. They'll be side by side, hanging the corners 3 and 4 this time through. And for Jacob Fife, he's got something going. He's got a real big haul of momentum on his own. Nobody there with him, and yet Jacob Fife seems to be one of the fastest guys on the track. Now I'm going to be side by side with Caitlin Haight, and it seems like something has turned on for the 36, the Jets. I'm not quite sure. Even with that early damage, bringing out the first yellow flag of the night. Now this 36 looking for the win with a vengeance. He's the fastest he's been all night long. Last time by ran a 30.4. Your leaders, both of them, ran a 30.6. So simply undisputable. Jacob Fife has a bit more pace than we expected. Now is looking to use it. As they work their way off corners 1 and 2 once again, it looks like Seth Well gets it right back out in front. They have been tossing this one up, down, and around, and now Well finds himself with only 50 laps to go in the top spot. Once again, a nice place to be for this man. He's been in it a lot this season and a lot this race. No stranger to being up in front, and it looks like once again he's in the perfect position to come home with another successful finish. Sam Nito would like to keep him honest though in the second spot right now for that number 2. It would take a lot for him to gain it all back, but certainly he will keep fighting. And for the driver in that number 2 machine, Alan Dobbs a bit further back as well, Jacob Fife, Tom Wetmore, and now Wetmore goes down low. Seems that number 51 will keep battling for every spot in his own right. Jacob Fife able to fly right up into the 4th spot, but not without some competition. The Tube Tech number 51 tries to put a line down and maybe just smoothly pass on by. Simply did not work. That time to slowly but surely though, they'll all work each other off the backstretch, and 48 to go. Seth Well has himself a lead as the night sky begins to be even more evident. Sam Nito now seems to have the right time in mind. It's nighttime here in Charlotte, and he's become one of the fastest. Just like that, we said some guys would blossom as the night went on, and now, with less than a quarter of this race remaining, it seems like the number 2 has found himself as one of the better drivers, despite some early troubles. The yellow flag is out, and that one catches me by surprise. Yellow's out for Boomer Logan and John Steele. Yellow flies once again. Let's find out just what happened. And looks like it caught me out big time there. We will see if it caught them out as well. Boomer Logan was with the number 22 of John Steele. Steele was in the back, so began with Logan. Let's find out what happened to number 94. And as Boomer was running with the number 44, Bobby Ross, he got loose on his own, then came up the track, hits the wall big, spins, and that's going to lead to the yellow flag. Oh, John Steele with a huge hit. That number 94, and we will check with John Steele. My, oh my, he was absolutely parked as soon as that happened. Let's take it back 30 seconds on his end and find out how it was inside the cockpit. John Steele working his way down the back, scored right now in 22nd. We might see some more retirees after that one. That is a huge hit and a nasty one at that. So bad news throughout the pack as John Steele, full throttle, did not see it happening. And then Boomer came down low, tried to let off the brakes, tried to go left. Logan was going left as well. That was it. The motor's blown. That is the night for the driver in that number 22. And as we look live once again, I believe John Steele is down on pit road, and that he is. Steele getting there on pit road and not on his own. Boomer Logan right there with him. Seth Well, though, brings the field down again, and 46 laps to go. It looks like the money stop has moved, and we are now back under pit road conditions. This could be the pit stop that everyone's been waiting for, as one driver appears to stay out, and that will be Guillermo Alvarez, and right with them going to be the driver of that number 28, and Kenny Rio. And how about that? Seth Well done. Well, not with pit road just yet. Don Stevenson right there with him. Alan Dobbs in 3rd. Sam Nito going to be in 4th. And Caitlin Haight there in 5th. Top 5 guys going to be all down on pit road, and one driver only going to be out. Who's going to get the win off pit road? I think Seth Well. And that's a 3-wide finish off pit road once again. Both of the drivers out. It looks like Seth Well gets over Sam Nito, Alan Dobbs, Jacob Fife, Caitlin Haight, Tom Wetmore, Cody Smith, Nick Tarbuck, Don Stevenson, Nicholas Ward for the top 10. And we'll loop it back once more. I'm not quite sure who officially got it done, and it looks like they're still debating it on the track. This is a bit too late, so you can see it's a close battle off pit road. And even on pit road, there's excitement to be found. So it looks like Seth Well easily gets it there. It was close though. Sam Nito then 2nd, and it was a big burst for Alan Dobbs to try to compete off the exit. So if we look back live, the number 88 machine in a much better spot than we anticipated. He finds himself now in the first position. That could have been a few spots lost, able to get that perfect exit, and he will stay on top. Bobby Ross going to be going right down low. He'll be taking Kyle Cooper there with them. And the Swedish Fish 73 has only ran in 2 races so far. Not the 2 most successful. Unfortunate for that number 73. I'm a big Swedish Fish fan myself. I think we said it under yellow last time we went at it. I think it's Sonoma, actually. Yeah, we did make that conversation piece. Swedish Fish, love to see them on track. A beautiful paint scheme, just not the run that Kyle Cooper machine wants. The 73 down in 25th as the number 88 leads the way with Sam Nito in a second. Now Alan Dobbs in third, 44 laps remaining, and time is running out here in the Octane Series, and this will be restart number 4. Your third caution for the cause brings us to yet another yellow and yet another one in the home stretch. These final few laps have been pretty dicey. With that being said, it's going to be a bit more contentious. Now, all about the action up front once again. Seth Well has had a great run going so far, has been the dominating man, but Sam Nito simply has found something that no other driver has as the lights are on in the stadium. Charlotte Motor Speedway is now fully in the sunset condition, and like we are at our studios here in the Northeast, it seems like the track is playing to those conditions. Now, the thing about iRacing is you can match up the speeds of the transition between daylight to nighttime with the real world. However, for this session, we are going at 2 times the speed. So for every 1 real hour that we have outside of iRacing, 2 hours of change in temperature in the sky, in the cloud, in the precipitation, even in the future in iRacing. That's how much it will change. So in 1 hour's time, we've seen 2 hours of change, and I've been live for about 2 hours now, so we've seen about 4 hours of changing from what was a 5 p.m. start to what is now about 9 p.m. in the real world. Any further, we might hit the 10s and the 11s as we are right now, and it is 10:41 on the eastern seaboard. This race has not been a short one, but it has been exciting. And I think on that note, it's still great to watch. Seth Well leads the way with Sam Nito in second, Alan Dobbs in third, and the final race before the Integrity summer vacation is in full swing. We'll be back a bit early on Monday, I believe. Our first broadcast back with you on Integrity will be Monday, July 11th with the Integrity Racing League All-Star Race. A few drivers from both series are locked in. More information coming to you very soon. We'll try to get that out by the middle of June, so stay tuned on FTN. We'll try to drop more information when we have it. Still, some of it's sparse, some of it is speculative from my understanding, but what I do know for sure, we'll kick it back off with another great race, the All-Star Race, our second exhibition of the season. Our first came down to an all-out slugfest at USA International, and I'm not quite sure where this next one's going to be hosted. If it's hosted at Charlotte, I'm sure it will be a great race. Charlotte Motor Speedway has given us 158 laps of thrills and chills, but let's see who's going to be able to get it done at the end of the night. Working off of the corner number 4, iRacing official pace car is in, and Seth Well is back on his way. Restart number 4 is going to be moving, led by Seth Well. And Well gets a monster jump that time by Alan Dobbs right there with him. Take a look off the back end as we got a few drivers going real slidey there. No incident. It could have been much worse. Someone went down low and then up high again. Not quite sure who, but the midfield, it is contentious. Kenny Reel up high in the 14th spot, working his way through just outside the top 10. The number 28 is fighting and fighting big. Let's ride on board with the man inside this number 28 Chevy Camaro. And Kenny Reel right now in this number 28, working inside the middle of the pack. Sees himself go down low on Ryan Farrell, and while he is outside the leading battle, he can still see everything right in front. With all that foresight ahead of him, hindsight might not be 2020 to see the lead battle. However, right now, there doesn't seem to be much of a lead battle at all. Seth Well once again pulls away. Sam Nito going to be right there in the second spot. Alan Dobbs is in third. Caitlin Haight going to be in fourth, and it's going to be Nick Tarbuck there in 5th. Tom Wetmore, position number 6, and Nicholas Ward going to be in 7th. Now your top 10 guys separated by 1.5 seconds. Up high, Brad Patton goes, and Brad's looking to do something up high. What can this man do? Not quite sure just yet, but he's trying to make it work out in real time. Down low, Brad goes up high again. He's shifting lanes, shifting positions, and now finds himself back up in the single digits. Alan Dobbs right now going to be scored in the 3rd spot. Your top 3 guys of Noel, Nito, and Dobbs have had a stranglehold ever since lap 150, and that is in the long distance because Caitlin Haight is looking to prove herself once again. The number 11 machine holds herself in the 4th spot, just ahead of Nick Tarbuck here, and already a 2-time winner of the season, looking to make it a 3rd. Right now, Seth Well does have that lead, but not by all too much. If anything does go awry up in front, Sam Nito could recollect that lead, or perhaps another driver could come up to the plate. No other driver has had that shot. The number 88 simply has it by at least a half second's worth right now. And right now, those two keep it going. Sam Nito going to be right there, 0.2 of a second adrift. Alan Dobbs now has the number 11 to worry about. And with all this pressure right behind the leaders, it might be a bit harder to keep moving up in front to battle for the lead. That's the big thing, the big saving grace for drivers up in front. If you see drivers begin to battle right behind you, you can get a lot of time in very little time. These laps, they are winding down, they are quick, and they are short. Every 10th matters. But for Alan Dobbs right now, he's fading back while Seth Well seems to be a bit quicker. That time by, he gets right up to the bumper. Once again, 37 laps to go, and everyone wants a piece of that number 88, and now Sam Nito might just have one. That time by, Seth ran at 30.585, and it was Sam Nito who ran at 30.491. Your leading battle might be the fiercest on track, save for the Tom Wetmore machine, and now Tom goes slicing and dicing. The number 51 machine now getting right there in position number 3. Alan Dobbs there in 4th, and Caitlin Haight is in 5th. Tom Wetmore out of nowhere seems to have a cannon of a number 51 machine, and that Chevy Camaro finds himself now in the podium places. Tom Wetmore looking for win number 4 now begins to go up high, and the low line ran by almost every other driver is not being used by that number 51. He wants all that momentum, and he wants it all to himself. He gets blocked off that time by the front end, chopped off, but no worry, he'll simply stay a bit up higher once again. Actually, this time by, he'll consolidate, go right down low, follow the rest of the field, and then regroup and go at it once again. That's the way to go for the number 51 machine. Tom Wetmore looking good so far, as Seth Well holds himself very well out in front. It's going to be Sam Nito there in 2nd, Tom Wetmore in 3rd, and Alan Dobbs there in 4th. Top 5 guys now going to be separated by 0.6 of a second as 34 laps remain. The 88 machine leads with Sam Nito still in touching distance. If anything were to go wrong, and it could, that number 2 machine is just a few car lengths behind. Tom Wetmore there as well. Top 5 guys, we see a side-by-side battle, Tarbuck and Patton. And Nick Tarbuck is right there with Brad Patton. These two have been fierce competitors all race long, and Brad Patton once again up high, trying what Tom Wetmore did, what he did earlier, and right now the success rate has not been as high. We've seen him do a bit better before in a similar situation. However, with the last few laps in mind, these guys are pushing at wit's end, and look who's up high once again. Tom Wetmore side-by-side for 2nd, gets it done on Sam Nito. At least he'll be side-by-side. Maybe not clear just yet, but now he is, and look who's now in trouble. Seth Well up high. Tom Wetmore goes again. Seth Well might have to keep working here. That 88 seemed to have a free ride until the yellow flag came out, and now, with the caution equalizing the field, the number 51 is within touching distance, and he gets a bit of a bumper there to the 88 machine. What can Seth Well do? We'll find out off the rear view. The 88 machine keeps himself intact. He'll stay up in front, but the 51, he is hard charging. 31 laps to go this time by, and the 2TS Machines machine is up there. It's fitting. It's a machine in its own right, as the Tube Tech 51 is now just within the leader. Car length upon car length. They are oh so close. Very few drivers have made it to this point unscathed. Tom Wetmore, one of which. Sam Nito seems to be there as well, and of course Alan Dobbs is. As these three make it through, Alan Dobbs begins to fade away more and more. Caitlin Haight might just have a shot to become an outside contender for the podium. The 11 machine has been fast all night long, but has not been fast enough to get it done for the victory. Despite that, it still seems like a very strong run before summer break, and that's a good note to end on. With that being said, continuing to work at the fullest extent, Brad Patton gonna make it a little harder as Patton now tries to go up high on not one but two drivers at once, and that number one machine keeps it in the high line. It seems to be very quick, and that time by ran at 30.416. Best lap for him overall was a 30.144. He is only a few tenths of a second off the all-time quickest pace that machine has run. Looking real good. That number 88 machine is, though, now set is beginning to gain a gap once again, and Tom Wetmore begins to battle with Sam Nito. Look off the quarter panel view from the number 2 machine. You can see the bright lights of Charlotte Stadium. It is coming through. The Motor Speedway looking more like a stadium each and every lap. The lights all around. It is the nighttime sky, and Sam Nito, of all of the drivers, has come into his own when the sun went down. The nighttime has been his calling, and that number 2 continues to chase down the leader, 2/10 of a second away as is, and coming down the backstretch, they might seem close to that angle. That's because they are. He gains almost a full 10th of a second that time by Sam Nito, now uninterrupted in his chase, has an opportunity to dig into that number 88 machine, the likes of which almost nobody else has had. Now this is a true dogfight to the checkered flag. And Sethwell finds himself occupied up in front. Leading it is a troublesome position to be in, but the best spot to be in all the same. Here in Charlotte, it is not a plate race per se, but the draft can be strong. And right now, it is carrying Sam Nito each and every lap closer to your leading man. For Nexus Esports, the number 88 machine knows that every lap, the next one will be the one he has to keep on working for until the checkered flag comes its way. 175 laps in, only about 26 remaining. This race has been a long one, but it's been worth the while for the 88 and the 2. Brad Patton now third, and Brad Patton, I tell you what, his highline strategy has been able to get some long run results. Nobody working that top like he is, and it's going to become a 3-driver race, and Brad can keep on going. Many drivers have been able to stop at this third spot and then fall back down. We'll see whether or not the number 1 can keep on pushing, or if this will be it. For Sethwell up in front, make it 25. It's going to be the Sam Nito machine right down low in the second spot, and Brad Patton in third. Look at this. Now Caitlin Haight goes by, and this is what we expected. When you get to third, you can't really go much further without simply having a pace advantage. The line might work out better behind the field of contenders, but then it seems like you're a pretender when you fade back into nothing. Leader Sethwell, make it 24 to go, and Sam Nito begins to fade back as well. And for Sethwell out in front, 177 laps have gone without much more to say besides it's been a good run, and he's always one of those guys that puts it in a very concise vocabulary. I'm sure he'll have maybe a little more to say tonight after a back-to-back performance if he gets it done, but certain just wants to do the job and do it well to get it done with 23 now laps remaining. One man getting away with it that time by. Who was that? I'm not quite sure. It was Wetmore, and Tom Wetmore gets a Nick Tarbuck. My oh my, now number 51 saved it, and he'll keep it going. Now down into the 8th spot. He keeps it moving once again, and 23 to go this time by him. Make it 22 with the best cameras on iRacing coming up before the summer break. One last time, let's crank it up with track cams for Gorman. It's the best cameras on the onboard scene in iRacing. As we head to your 22 to go, crank it up, courtesy of TrackCams22.com. And with only 18 laps to go, Sethwell finds himself out in front. It has been a phenomenal performance so far for the number 88 machine, working his way down the back once again. And this number 88 has been on the loose like nobody else. Sam Nito going to be right there in second. Caitlin Hagan there in third. Alan Dobbs is in fourth. And Nicholas Ward is in fifth. Position number one going to be Sethwell, and he has held on quite well so far. And he is coming down to the final stretch in good spirit. It has been one race to remember after another. A back-to-back victory is in sight for the man in this 88. But of course, these drivers right behind are still contending. Sam Nito right there in second, Caitlin Hayes is in third, Alan Dobbs is in fourth, and Nicholas Ward is in fifth. And I'll tell you what, Nicholas Ward, the practice in Iora, it made perfect, and he has ran a phenomenal race so far. The top five is exactly a race that he's needed heading into our break to put himself on a right foot for the next run of the season. Exactly the medicine the doctor offered for this 97, and he has taken it, and he is taking it in mass. The 88, 185 laps in, leads the way by a quarter of a second. Sam Nito right behind him, Caitlin Haight there in third, and Alan Dobbs is in fourth. They have been all racing each other all night long. Now Nicholas Ward goes up high, Nick Tarbuck races them a bit deeper. These two begin to battle once again for the spots within the top five. Alan Dobbs stays in fourth, however, and he is in no worry. Caitlin Haight now going to be back in the podium as they all contend to stay up there. It has been a dicey race up front, but a contentious race with all the action nonetheless. 30 laps into this stint, I do believe they'll go all the way on this run, no matter how you slice it. You got to make it to the checkered flag from here on out, and what will be a 45-lap stint on tire strategy. A phenomenal run it could be to the number 88 machine. Of course, very little time remains until that checkered flag falls for the number 88, and Splash and Go Graphics has had one hell of a wheelman out in front each and every week. Looking for the third win of the season for the number 88 to level the playing field with Tom Wetmore. And if they do both end up with 6 wins total after the night, they've almost taken half the wins by themselves. That's how good both Wetmore and Sethwell have been. Sethwell has been putting on some pure dominating races as of recent. The number 88, one of the best on the sim, and it is showing. 13, a baker's dozen to get it done, and he's got himself a good advantage here on round 15. The summer break is oh so near, but he does not want to go out without some fireworks. The 4th of July will be back after that, as Sam Nito's there in second, Caitlin Haken there in third, Alan Dobbs is fourth, it's Nick Tarbuck fifth, Nicholas Ward in sixth, and Don Stevenson now in seventh with Jacob Fife in eighth. Contentious battle between Ryan Farrell and Tom Wetmore. Wetmore goes up high, blocks the Next Level Racing machine at number 18, and Cody Smith finds himself dragged right down low to fight multiple battles at once. And every driver right now fighting with each and every one of each other. Nobody here wants to be caught on the back foot. You just want to keep on driving no matter what. And right now, these guys run down laps without any issue. 12 laps to go. Sethwell running down his final few because he knows that if he just stays out in front, he'll have it locked up. It's as simple as that. Maybe easier said than done, but Sethwell seems to make it look easy. Props though to Sam Nito. Everyone else has fallen off this number 88 entirely. It seems like more or less these two are generally even. Just a few things that separate them overall. Not all too many. Just enough to show who's up in front for a reason and who is not. It has been dicey, however, in this leading battle, and if something does go wrong for the 88, you will know. Sam Nito right on that back bumper, he will tell you for certain as we have 10 laps to go. And with that being said, we'll get right back down to business once again. Next Level Racing for the final time tonight, a promotional break with a great partner we have in the Integrity Racing League. High-quality sim racing performance products for dedicated sim racers who want nothing but the best. Visit nextlevelracing.com for more information as we return after this brief message, courtesy from our friends at Next Level Racing. as we return for our final promotional break, we are under yellow, and just like that, it all changes. Once again, the reason why appears to be Alan Rawwell involved with an incident, and we come back to a big scene after our final promotional break. We appear to have a final dash that will be under 15 laps to settle this race. Let's go and get a replay on FTN here, find out just what happened. And Alan Rawwell got bent up. We went 40 seconds back and couldn't find anything. Let's go back a bit further and see what caused this incident. Alan Rawwell gets involved, hits Kenny Reel, and comes right up the track. Oh, Chris Schetzler. My, oh my, this began way earlier, and it was Schetzler the pure cause of this one. Let's see what happened with the 24. The more we look at it, Schetzler loose in the wall, comes right back up the track. That's why Rawwell shot right back up, and then Rawwell hits Fiash, and so does Schetzler get a hit. Big time hit for the 24. Man, oh man, that's a bad one. And let's take an instant replay on the roll bar of this number 24 machine. That's going to be a tough one to look at. The flip's what makes it oh so much worse. 8 laps to go, under yellow, and he goes for a wild ride. Chris Schetzler in trouble. And that's going to bring the end to his winning chances. If anything, the number 24 finds himself in trouble. 7 laps now remain. What about this predicament has been wrong for every driver? Well, so few laps, so much aggression. That what might just be the big playing factor. Now it's so little time. Many drivers trying to make their final calls. Don Stevenson wins off pit road from Cody Smith and Seth Well. And that's the big change Don needed. This could be an underdog victory after all. What seemed to be Seth Wells' way, well, it ain't over till it's over, as the great Yogi Berra said, and that seems to be the truth. Once again, the number 47 of Don Stevenson finds himself now in second. Chris Schetzler leads. Kyle Cooper will give it a lap back, and Schetzler eventually has to come down to pit road. So regardless, the number 47 is your effective leader. With 7 laps to go, it's all shifted up once again. And when we thought it was over, it all came back to have one more run. And for a 300-mile event to come down to this, you know it's going to be exciting. So much on the line, so many laps. And it's not going to go in vain if these drivers have their way. That is for certain. As they come down to the line once again, it is the driver of that number. Well, the 47 up high. Cody Smith down low. They're already double filed here. 6 laps to go. We should have a 5-lap restart. And it looks like we won't. Extended one more time. It'll be a 4-lap dash. Chris Schetzler leads the way. And he has not pit. Not yet. I am not sure what's going on here. I do believe he has extra time to pit. That is for certain. But given that incident, I don't believe there is a reason for him to be out in front. We'll see what the call is, of course. I'm no admin. I just think he's stretching it out to get a few extra lead laps in. That might be the game plan for the number 24. Get that screen time after a horrendous flip. Multiple cars involved. Fiash, Schetzler, and of course Alan Rawwell we first caught on to. And that is what I believe to be your 5th yellow flag of the night. 4th caution for cause here, 5th yellow flag overall. Stage break, lap 80. Rest of the way has been mostly clean, but now it's getting a bit dicier in the final segment of this race. Down low, Don Stevenson goes. It's going to be Cody Smith right there with him. As they go through once again, it is the 24 holding tough up top. Well, let's see what the game plan is for the Yoo-Hoo 24. Certainly has to come down to pit road, given that damage. With only 4 laps of green flag racing guaranteed from this point onward at the very most, it's going to be really dicey. Someone stay out with that wear and tear, and that he does. Chris Schetzler is not pitting just yet. And just like that, Schetzler keeps himself in. Let's ride on board. Maybe we can get some telemetry, see what's going on. It looks like he's hovering at about 4,000 RPM. Not getting a clutch check right now, but Chris Schetzler seems to be trying to come in clutch for his own race. He'll keep on driving. 4 laps to go. 196 laps in, and we are coming down to the tail end of this one. It is 11:04 on the eastern seaboard, and it comes down to a 4-lap dash. Grab your popcorn, stay in your seat. This is it. Stevenson and Schetzler, your front row. And undeniably, not what many people expected. At the end of the day, these two out in front It simply seems like the twists of fate had led them to this point. Don Stevenson with an outsider pit strategy, and Chris Schetzler involved in the last yellow, barrel rolled, and he is scored as your leader. This is interesting to say the least, and we are getting down to the bottom of it. This time by 4 laps to go to settle it here on FTN, and it has been a great show to lead us into our summer break, although it could get a bit nastier if we do see an incident. One man on a 40-lap hold set, the rest of your field on a 2-lap set. Randy Fish down on pit row. We now have 3 official retirees. Jim Fife seems to be down and out as well. The field is getting watered down. For your 5th restart of the night, this will be perhaps it. Schetzler up high, Stevenson down low. The wrecked and the strategic lead you to the green flag. It's a wreck, a big one, and we will have another restart. We're going in overtime. And just when I thought Schetzler would wreck, it was Don Stevenson. And we will wait to conclude this one. Instant replay on the matter here. Let's bring it down to slow motion. And it looks like Stevenson just missed it on his own. And so did Sam Nito. New tire caught them out. And it was Don Stevenson who went in to Seth Well. Chris Schetzler gets away. And surprisingly, the driver who wrecked most recently is your leader overall. And just like that, it is Don Stevenson who tags Caitlin Haight. Man, oh man, tags even the number 4. So many good drivers taken out of this one. The 97 of Nicholas Ward there, the 11 of Caitlin Haight in the wall. Now this is carnage. We will have an overtime finish. Let's bring it back to your live feed. And now it seems like a 2-lap dash will settle this race. Chris Schetzler made the right call, surprisingly, and leads the way 42 laps in. Cody Smith is now up in a second. It is Alan Dobbs in third and Tom Wetmore in fourth, coming in way hot to stay on that outside line. I'm not sure what the game plan is now. Nicholas Ward comes in hot as well. And a few drivers getting to collect their spots back once again. It seems like they have just enough in the car to keep on going. And either way, a big-time wreck to bring out yellow number 6, back-to-back yellows. And that's the first time we've seen that all night long. And it comes at the end. This is chaos from Charlotte. And the yellow flag continues to wave here. The flagman, Barn to the flagman, keeps giving them a sign. We will have a few extra laps. This race will go over 300 miles. And we are now at lap 199. We should go back green at about lap number 201. So a 203 lap race is in the cards now. And just like that, the number 24 leads the way. And Fabio Ross now going to be up high. Let's see how it's going down on pit road. Seth Well done for the night officially. Nick Tarbuck way back in the field. Sam Nito, Caitlin Haight, Don Stevenson all way back there. Bobby Ross 4 laps down. Randy Fish 6 down. We lost a lot of good drivers there in that one incident. I tell you what, not what you want to see at all, especially not to end off the first leg of the season. Just a heartbreaker indeed. I'd have to agree. Not the way I want to see it. 3 laps to go, and it's Chris Schetzler who gets lucky from the most recent wreck. He was not involved. He now leads over Cody Smith, and it will only be 3 miles of green flag racing will have to lead in order to get this checkered flag. A 24 of Chris Schetzler out in front. 199 laps in as they take the line, not the checkered, for lap number 200's beginning. We will go green very, very soon. The green-white checkered will be coming, and it will be coming next time by. The yellow flag is out, and it will be a shocker. Chris Schetzler got this one done. He's on an old set of tire. Yes, he did avoid that wreck, and he got actually a great start regardless. I mean, he pulled away from the outside line, who was not wrecking in Seth Well. I don't know what that was about. He simply had it going. The new tires seemed to just not have a lot of heat in it, but now, with all that scramble, might be enough to get the good launch and pass Chris by. I'm only speculating at this point. It seems like we are not quite sure ourselves, but either way, will come down to this start. If the number 24 machine just get a good run, maybe make it to the white flag and see them wreck or go to the checker flag all the way, well, of course, it'll be possible. Now, with that being said, we have some extra time. As we always do on FTN, let's run through your green, white, checkered rules on an overtime scenario. Now, this is a green, white, checker, which means for the fans at home watching for the first time, this will be it in overtime. If there were an exceeding amount of overtimes, I believe our limit is 3, the race will end. So we can go about to lap 210 if we really need to. We should not be using that much. I don't believe there's a reason to, but if we do, we will see 3 attempts. Now, the first lap in green is the green flag lap. Of course, it's the green. 2 laps to go. You get through there, you'll be good to go the rest of the way. If there's a yellow flag in that lap, we'll restack them, re-rack them for a second attempt. If you get to the white flag, though, then it's checkers or wreckers. If the yellow flag flies in that white flag lap, then the field will be frozen and the scoring loop that decides the official positions of the drivers will be determined by iRacing itself, and the results will be calculated as such. There could be a calculation error. The admins could review that, but that is a very slim possibility. If not, we race to the checkered flag, checkers, and wreckers. Could see that as well. Charlotte Motor Speedway hosts to many iconic races, many photo finishes. Davey Allison, Kyle Petty, All-Star race in 1992, checkers and wreckers. Petty wrecked Allison. Allison won, got concussed along the way. 2005, Bobby Labonte, Jimmy Johnson. Labonte oh so close to his one final swan song win, but Jimmy took it right there to him. And tonight we could add another in the virtual realm. The Coke Series finish up their race. Long ways ago. It's time for the big boys to race. It's the Integrity Racing League live on FTN. If you're enjoying the action, tuning in for the first time, leave a like and subscribe. We'd love to have you aboard. The summer break, it could not end sooner. This has been a phenomenal show so far, and it could be checkers after wreckers for Chris Schetzler and the Yoo-Hoo number 24. The number 24 Yoo-Hoo machine up high. Cody Smith down low. Nicholas Ward and Alan Dobbs make up your second row. And Mr. 3-time and Tom Wetmore, 3-time winner, looking to make it 4 if he can get through the rest of this pack. The restart number 5 is here, and it is now. Let's go at it this time by. This will be it. Overtime restart. Let's go. Dobbs going to be shaking it, and he's going to be able to save it. And it looks like, no, we're going to have another wreck. Avila Felix, and we are now going in our second overtime attempt. Oh no. Second attempt just like that, and in the same vein, our second wreck on the front stretch. Let's find out what happened. And Dobbs tried to save it, and Avila Felix hits him. And just like that, we are under yellow. Very simple situation. And we will bring it back to the pacing procedure. Now, great to have you all aboard, and we're really holding out for a great finish here. I tell you what. Second overtime attempts will be coming right up. Tom Wetmore jumps up to 4th on that restart. Jacob Fife finds himself in 5th. But the top 3 remain the same. Schetzler, Smith, and Nicholas Ward. Nicholas Ward has some damage, but he still keeps on kicking as Chris Schetzler finds himself up in front. This race is changing, and it is changing big. Your second overtime restart just like that. We are under yellow again. Not sure what's going on. A big time hit once more. And Chris Schetzler, once again, pulls out a phenomenal start. On a 47-lap oldest stint that has been run all night long. The 24 has the perfect restart twice over. Now, the second overtime attempt does mean we have this one and the next still available. But I don't believe we'll be using the next one. You know what? I'll bite my tongue at this point. I'll have to shut myself up. I don't know what's coming up next. It has been a quite different race this lap 150, and it has been all about aggression. Another restart, another big hit, and with no faster pair, nothing more can be done. Charlotte Motor Speedway becoming a playground for incidents, and another finds its way on the circuit. Chris Schetzler leads the way. Cody Smith in second, Nicholas Ward in third, and with 3 laps remaining, another big change to the playing field as the number 24 now has an even better shot at winning. Despite going barrel rolling, he leads the way and finds himself with another good restart. Cody Smith still in second, Nicholas Ward still in third, and we are heading deep to at least lap 206. And how about that? And as we come down the backstretch once again, 3 laps to go, very little to talk about besides multiple incidents in succession. But Tom Wetmore, out of that restart, was the biggest winner. He gained at least 2 spots on that restart, making his way up into 4th from 6th. And those gains, while minor, could be major if we continue to have all of these restarts. Now, Wetmore was able to avoid the first big one, and now it seems like avoiding the second. He did it and finds himself in another good position. Now inside the top 5, chasing down the podium. It could be another win for Wetmore. He's been all about situational awareness all season long, and he finds himself in a good spot to maybe come home with an underdog victory once again. It has been a big-time performance up in front for the 51. Seth Well, the dominator out of this race, but the 24, Chris Schetzler, wants to walk this one off in style. 205 laps in, the yellow flag has fallen, and Chris Schetzler leads the way even still. Down low, Cody Smith is. Your second row going to be Ward and Wetmore. Rest of your field stays on the inside. We now, I believe, only have 17 drivers in the lead lap, going back to Nick Tarbuck. Tarbuck down on pit road, as a matter of fact. He's getting extra service, trying to get himself ready for this last run. And you go back to guys like Guillermo Alvarez. Alvarez scored in 16th, Alan Dodge 15th, and you got to see that Chris Schetzler leads the way, double filed even still. The yellow flag is out for at least one more lap after this. We should go green then at about lap 207. Finish of this race will be lap 209, going way past 200 laps and way past 300 miles. This one comes down to overtimes here in Charlotte. Chris Schetzler, Cody Smith, and Nicholas Ward. Now, I'll tell you what, Cody Smith, one guy we haven't mentioned all too much. He is in second, that's for certain, in the next level racing machine. But his performance on track has slowly but surely gotten better. He was running outside the top 10 early in the going, has now found himself inside the top 10 solidly, has now firmly placed himself in second, avoiding multiple restart wrecks in a row. 1 lap to go. This time by under yellow will be a 2-lap green flag dash. Lap 207, we come back green. It'll be lap 208, the new official distance of this event. One more overtime attempt in our back pocket. Hopefully, we don't have to use it. There shouldn't be a reason. If we get by the front stretch, we should go all the way. That's the way it's gone so far. And we have back-to-back yellows, bringing us down to restart number 6. And hoping to get it done this time by Cody Smith down low. He needs a good restart. Even though these wrecks have happened, Chris Schetzler has simply been better on the starts, putting the power down quite easily in that number 24 machine. Not even the 18 has been able to do so down low. Alan Rowell inside the top 10 without front bumper at all. That's interesting to keep an eye out for. Not quite sure what's going on there. However, the number 24 finds himself up high. The damage does not deter him, and he might just have the opportunity to make it happen. Off of corner exit, it's going to be the driver in that number 24, holding his head up high. Chris Schetzler up high, Cody Smith down low, and Tom Wetmore right there in tow. Let's see if they've got a shot, and it seems like they do. The iRacing official pace car comes off of corner number 4, and it's going to be Chris Schetzler leading the way. And here we go again. Make it 2 laps to go for your second overtime finish attempt. Schetzler gets a move on quite easily in that number 24 machine, but Cody Smith now up high. Tom Wetmore going to be in third. 3 cars breakaway. Wreck again. Overtime attempt number 3 will be used. And now we have another one off the backstretch this time around. And our third overtime attempt, I believe this is our final, will be put in play. Let's find out who's involved. I do believe Kevin Matz was. Let's check it out. And Kevin Matz in the number 50 machine finds himself caught up in your third wreck in overtime conditions. And you can see Nicholas Ward got slow, Rowell went high, Brad Patton got into the 50, and that's what causes this wreck. Sam Nito comes up, hits Alan Dobbs, the 50 slides. As we send it back live feed, the 50 now back on the way. Alan Dobbs and Sam Neill, multiple cars impacted. As Jorge Canales is there in 6th, Jacob Fife is in 5th, Stan Carton 4th, Tom Wetmore 3rd, Cody Smith in 2nd, and Chris Schetzler in 1st. It is now only a total of 3 laps remaining. Again, just like that, we're up to our 3rd and final overtime attempt. And this race refuses to end. Chris Schetzler leads the way. At the rate it's gone, might just have a win. I'm not quite sure if it's going to go to another yellow flag. I think not quite sure it's on the way to go all night long. Uncertainty has been the name of the game, and we will indeed go past 210 laps, as I said we could have. So it seems like we will max out on our number here tonight. It will come down to over 210 laps of racing. Schetzler first, Cody Smith second, and Tom Wetmore there in 3rd. Bobby Ross gets a lap back that time by, and that's going to be the number 44 machine, putting himself now within 3 laps of lead. For Indy Autosport, Bobby Ross now going to be the 18th spot. Tom Wetmore there in 3rd. Cody Smith in 2nd. Chris Schetzler is in 1st. The 15th round here in Charlotte has come down to very little time. The number 24 finds himself up in front. Cody Smith in 2nd. Tom Wetmore is in 3rd. Stan Carnathan's actually in 4th, and Carnathan has been able to run this race of attrition down to the wire, eventually making his way to the top 5 once again. This should be the best finish he's had all season long, no matter how he finishes from this point onward. Staying up in front of the top 5 would be his automatic best. His first top 5 in this league might come tonight, and the way things have gone, there is indeed a chance. Out in front, Chris Schetzler, 209 laps in the game plan. Now Cody Smith goes down low, and I don't believe we'll go 1 to green this time through. But in the case we do, the number 24 machine will have the high side once again. It's worked once, it's worked twice. Will it work for the 3rd time? Will that be the charm? That all is to be told in a few laps' time as the 24 finds himself out in front. It is still Chris Schetzler with Cody Smith there in 2nd, and then Tom Wetmore in 3rd. Top 3 guys have been up there for a while. Tom Wetmore's made some major gains despite the short distances, up in 3rd now, and with an opportunity to go for that lead on Chris Schetzler and Cody Smith. It will be all about pushing, coming to shove, though we have seen many short runs. When it comes down to it, it could be another that ends this race, and if they come off the backstretch once again, Schetzler leads him, and the rest of the field keeps on trucking. Chris Schetzler now in a 54-lap stint of tire, the longest that any driver has used in this race. Undeniably, a very, very big gamble, and it has paid off so far. Leading the way has not been passed every time this driver shines himself up in front. Chris Schetzler seems to hold on at least for a little while, and right now, the little while, it might be these 2 laps. He loses it, but it has been a valiant effort either way. The old tires, they will give out eventually. But the way things have gone, maybe they won't. Things are changing and changing quick as the 24 machine leads them all through. Once again, it's going to be Chris Schetzler up high for the taking. We're at lap 210 already. The official concluding distance of this event appears to be lap 213. Down low, Cody Smith takes the inside line. Chris Schetzler goes high. And we will find ourselves at lap 211. 2-lap dash to finish this race off. Anything more, and it will be official. And the winner of this one will, of course, want this trophy for the rest of the season. The playoff picture is very close when we come back in July. If Chris Schetzler wins it, it's going to be a very valuable win. If Stan Carnathan comes up with it, another big victory it could be. We will see. It's going to be all about the gains for this final stretch. If anyone can gain, well, it's going to be big time move, making very little time, very little space. Aggression will be at an all-time high. If you want to get this one done, you'll need to make your moves now. The yellow flag could come out at any moment, and the race could be over. Schetzler holds on. Cody Smith finds himself right down low. 3 laps to settle this race. And it's very little between these competitors at the end of the day. They will line up in order. Once again, double file stacked up. But the number 18 down low knows he has the newest set of anyone in that front row. Chris Schessler's old gamble might pay off. They'll just need a yellow flag to prove it. Off of the corner once again, it's going to be the number 24 leading in the restart. Number 6, the final overtime restart of the night. We will have attempt number 3, and the green flag flies once more. Chris Schessler finds himself up in front. Going to be Cody Smith in second and Stan Carlson in third. Tom Wetmore dives down low. He'll concede, and Stan Carlson holds on in third, at least for the moment. Carlson holds up high, fighting the wall that time through. No incident from it. They'll be shaking it up in the back. No yellow. Brad Patton. Alvarez is sliding, and Brad Patton was as well. The better of it Brad Patton gets as Cody Smith takes that lead, and just like that, the old tires begin to fail. Now Tom Wetmore going to be in second. Stan Carlson chasing third, and he will be there. 1 lap to go for Cody Smith. He won at Daytona, and Tom Wetmore, while charging, has a ways to go. The number 18 machine finds himself out in front, backstretch battling. Wetmore needs to make a charge, and for the man who won the season opener in February in Daytona to cap off the first leg of the season with a victory is as fitting for Next Level Racing. Cody Smith comes off the corner number 4 to win the 15th round of the season. 213 laps of struggle, and the number 18 wins from Charlotte Motor Speedway. And Cody Smith comes home with a win, a big one, with Tom Wetmore second and Stan Carlson in third. Let's get your race results as Cody Smith comes home with his second win of the season. What a way to do it for the man of number 18 machine. That's exactly what needed to put this season back in motion. A multi-time winner, and now he is in a very safe prospect for the championship. What a way to go. The number 18 gets it done, and it is Cody Smith winning over Tom Wetmore in second, Stan Carlson in third, Jacob Fife in fourth, and those 4 within 1 second. Chris Schessler comes home in the top 5, and Caitlin Haight makes it there in 6th. Jorge Canales going to be there, position number 7. Ryan Farrell 8th. Alan Rommel in 9th, with Don Stevenson position number 10. And then the 11th spot going to be Kevin Matz with Brad Patton 12th. Guillermo Alvarez in the 13th position, and Nick Tarbuck in 14th. 15th spot going to be Nicholas Ward, and final man lead lap Alan Dobbs 19 seconds adrift. Bobby Ross comes home in the 17th spot. Sam Nito 18th. Victor Avila Felix 19th. And Kyle Cooper position number 20 with Kenny Real retiree in 21st. Randy Fives 22nd. Seth Well 23rd. John Steele 24th. And Boomer Logan 25th, with Jim Fife and Manjanas early outs from this event as the number 18 comes down to burn it down after the longest race of the season. And as Cody Smith burns it down, stay tuned for interviews live on FTN. We are just going to get them in to finish this one off. And just like that, the number 18 machine of Cody Smith comes home with a victory here in Charlotte. Exactly what he needed to keep that playoff hope alive. And the number 18 machine finds the medicine, and it is victory. The number 18 back in action, and Cody Smith comes home in position number 1. Now, give us just a moment as we drag him right into our broadcast booth live on FTN. A great finish for the number 18, and a win's always what you want as a driver. Cody Smith back in victory lane from Daytona to Charlotte to finish off the first half of the season. How do you feel after this one?
Yeah, it feels good. I had no business winning that race. Turned into a bit of a mess there at the end, but it's cool to kind of book in the first half of the season there, win the first race, and then the last race before we go into this break. It's definitely definitely exciting, definitely cool.
And a thriller of a victory there using, I believe, all 3 of our overtime attempts, and you got it done on the final one. So what was it about getting that final run off? Because it seems like for a while there, the 24, with that strategy, was going to make it work. The old tires seemed to have a good grip, and the restarts kept involving themselves in yellow, so to speak.
Yeah, when the leader has control of the race, it's so hard to time it and stay with him. I knew if we could ever get a full lap after the restart, he would probably struggle to keep the lead. So that's what we just needed. I was just praying for us to get to the white, and I figured I had a pretty good chance if that happened, and it finally did on that last attempt there.
And the last attempt is where it all matter now. But for these few attempts, there were still over 200 laps to speak of until that final green flag checkered. So with that being said, how was it for you to manage your strategy throughout the long haul?
Yeah, it was a long race, longest race that we run all year. It played out that way. It was I went in big time tire saving mode, and I I don't know. I think it bit me. I lost too much track position, and I could run good lap times, but I could never get the track position that I gave up trying to save tires. So, I got lucky with the mess at the end. I took two tires on that last pit stop to get me up there, and then mayhem ensued, and we came out on top. Thank the Lord. But yeah, it was a blast that first part of the race, and the long runs and the tires came in. You could race really 3 different lines pretty much in this track, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. It's a fun track to race for sure.
And a great one to watch here for the number 18 and the field. Now, it's weird to say this for the first time since February. We don't have a race coming up next on Tuesday. We are going to be off for quite some time till July. So what's it going to take to look back on the first half of this season and then sort of take it into perspective and move on to the next?
Yeah, I think just that. I think take a little break here. Maybe maybe get back in a week or two. I'm actually heading to Florida next week, so probably won't race at all next week. Then maybe get into some officials to get ready for the second half. Long way to go. We got a few races before the chase, and then or for the playoffs, and then that's what it's all about. Get to the championship race and see what happens. Maybe get myself a sim rig. That's the goal here.
And I'm looking to get it done for the overall prize in this season. Cody Smith caps off the first half in style of victory here in Charlotte. With that being said, any final thoughts and anyone else you'd like to thank before we head back in July?
Yeah, just thank you, Dave. Thanks everybody that comes out, all the admin teams. We work pretty hard on the admin team to put this series on. I think they all do a great job. So got to thank Next Level Racing for sponsoring the season and coming aboard the car as well. They've been fantastic this year. So hoping to keep that partnership going. And again, we're giving away 2 sim rigs. Hopefully that ends up in my office here in a few months.
And coming back on top for the Next Level Racing, number 18, Cody Smith gets it done in the Integrity Racing League's longest race of the year. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Dave.
And there we have it. Cody Smith going to be back on his way. Second spot in a hard-fought contest. The number 51 machine of Tom Wetmore finding himself second spot on the night here in Charlotte. A hard-fought battle. 213 laps worth. How do you feel after getting this one done in second?
Feel like we got our butt kicked those last couple restarts there. Decided to make life hard on the Tube Tech Chevy Camaro team tonight and start out back, which meant we were fighting for track position to put us in a spot to save tires all night. And to do that means you got to burn up the tires to get there. And these guys, obviously, as you saw tonight, ran clean for a huge majority of the race, a testament to the talent in this league. And that means when you're going to burn your stuff up hoping for a caution to get yourself in the position early, it burns you in the long run. And so we were fast early and weak late as a result.
And a big change in how this race was ran. Of course, a long haul early, and then became a few short runs there at the end. Able to make some big moves on those final 3 restarts where the strategy really came down to that. So what did it take for you to make those moves? I believe you were about 6th on the first attempt, and then all the way up to 2nd there. So of the drivers in that mix, you made the most positions back up. What did it take to have that happen?
Yeah, unfortunately, it took a mistake from a driver that was up front out there on 2 tires. It's so easy to spin the tires on these cars with how much horsepower they make when you're in first gear. So unfortunately, a mistake there ruined a few good drivers' nights, including Don, who was having a pretty good night himself. But certainly hate it for those guys, and I know we got caught up in that first one, just not as bad as others. So certainly hate it, but fortunately, the Robin Steele attorneys at law, those guys do protect us always from good and bad, and they protected the car enough to make it to the end tonight, at least, where I can have a chance to talk with you, Dave.
And making it to the end of the night is all that matters for a winning chance. Now, we mentioned it to Cody Smith. We don't have any opportunities for you to win next week or in a quite long time compared to the last few weeks. That's for certain. We'll be back in July and the first half of the season. You've been the winningest driver. 3 wins to come home after 15 races. And we have 15 more to get it done for a title. So what's going to take to look at this and then try to look at what's left on the table?
Yeah, as we come into this summer break, a lot of fast drivers have emerged in the field. I mean, I'm super fortunate that we've collected a few trophies in the first half here, but I'm certainly not the only one on that winners leaderboard, and every single one of those guys is bad fast. So as we come into the back half of the season, we're starting learn a little bit more about each other's driving style, and that's only going to make the racing even closer and even more exciting to watch here on FTN.
And the excitement will be sky high. We come back. Tom Wetmore, 2nd place, an exciting night here in Charlotte. When it comes down to it, Faltas, anyone else you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I mean, got to thank a few of my sponsors. Got to thank Tyler coming on board this year with his Tyler Drifts. Catch him on Twitch. Obviously, the boys over at Tube Tech holding down everything tube fabrication, as well as any laser cutting needs you may need. But as always, the boys over at Garage Moon Power down in Atlanta, Georgia. All those guys obviously help put this program together and make it so we can come out here and compete for some of the crazy offerings that Next Level Racing has in store here for the Integrity Racing League. So a lot of people to thank, but wouldn't be here without them. So I appreciate it.
And there we have it, Tom Wetmore, yet another strong run of the first half of the season, capping it off with a 2nd place run here in Charlotte. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Dave. Have a great night.
And there you have it. Wetmore going to be back on his way. And the last man on your podium, a first-time podium sitter in that number 82. Stan Carson coming home in the 3rd spot. We'll get him in just a moment here. A phenomenal run for the man in this number 82 machine to come home in the top 3 for the first time this season. Great to have another first-time podium sitter. And back-to-back nights. It catches me out again. We have another first-time man on the podium. Great to see that for the number 82 machine of Stan Carthen. So let's get him right in right now. Stan Carthen for their first time on the podium here in the Integrity Racing League. And it comes at the longest race of the season. How do you feel after this one?
Tired. My back hurts. My arm hurts. My hand cramped at like lap 90. So, yeah, man, that's tough.
Hard-fought racing all night long. They came home with a good result to prove it. So when it comes down with a long race, of course, a very longest we've run all year long, and a lot of different strategies in play. What kept you in it till the very end?
Yeah, we had a good car on the long run, and so we would run it long, and we caught cautions to get some track position, and then obviously chaos there in the last 30 laps or so. We stayed clean, stayed out of that mess, and had a shot there on the last green white checker.
And able to make that shot work at the end. I mean, it was an up and down night for every driver, including yourself. So what kept you up there at the end? I mean, of course, strategy became a much different thing, wreck avoidance. But before that, what was the big thing for you in the long haul? Because we saw about 100 laps run under green beforehand.
Yeah, I would say probably the first caution. Some guys started to pit, we stayed out, and we went from running like 18th or 19th, stuck in traffic, not really able to go anywhere, to I think 5th or 6th at the end of that cycle. So we definitely had a top 10 car. Had the entire thing went green, 7th, 8th, 10th, somewhere in there. But like I said, the cautions at the end kind of worked out in our favor.
And all working out in the final race of the first half here. Now, the 82 has been a part-time campaign, but a successful one at that. Multiple top 10 finishes, and now your first top 5 and podium in one. We got 15 more races after our summer break. We'll return in July. What's it going to take to continue the success when we return?
More top 5s, and gonna have to figure out how to get a checkered flag or two. But just kind of here for the fun, and I don't really know anybody in this league, so it's a good learning experience for me. And so far, so good.
And there we have it. So far, so good. Stan Carson, at the end of the first half of this season, comes home with his first podium finish in the number 82. Any final thoughts? Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Shout out to you and for broadcasting, taking that time, and just the team back at the shop, Eons Motorsports. We'll keep chugging along.
And there we have it, Stan Carson, first career podium here in the Integrity Racing League, coming in round number 15. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks, Fireball.
And there we have it, Stan Carson going to be back on his way. The number 82 on the move for the third spot on the night as Cody Smith gets it done here in Charlotte. What a way to win it for the number 18 machine. And we thank y'all for watching this presentation. We're going to throw it up on the screen right now. This is our schedule for this week. We'll be back on a Thursday night. We'd love to be there with you. And it looks like I had a bit of a jam on my computer there. We'd love to be with you on Thursday night when I return live on the FDN YouTube channel. Not sure if you caught what I said before, but we had a bit of a freeze up. Don't want to risk it either way. Nonetheless, great run tonight for the Cody Smith machine. I'll be back with the Highline Racing League Premier Series. And I'll be, of course, glad to catch y'all there. Thank y'all for watching live on FDN tonight. I've been David Kreutz, and it's been great to be with you all. I'll be tuning this one out. Thank you all for your time. We hope to see you whenever we're watching again another race live on FTN from your studio. So from my studios, your homes, thank you dearly for your support and hope to see you once again.